awesome, Zanzi. Good morning. Welcome to it. It's Monday morning and it's been an absolutely incredible weekend. So before we do anything, let's just take a deep breath. Feel that magic inside of you. Blessed with another round of potential, another week of opportunity. So here we are. Thank you for joining us, and we hope that you spent Father's Day with your loved ones and that it was an absolutely wholesome experience. I got to add some memories to the bank. I hope you did too. And let me tell you, it was the perfect time to obviously make things happen with your family because it was a cold weekend too, and definitely has been a cold one indeed, and a wet one too, with the past couple of days in the mother city especially. So that's why we're going to connect with Colin Dana, the Chief Director of the Western Cape Disaster Management. And that's obviously to find out when the cold front will pass and what the next couple of days will look like, as well as the status of the floods in the area. Now, of course, all our hearts and souls are going out to those that are currently affected by it right now, but we'll dive into that in just a bit. On top of the list, though, we've got so much more coming at you. We are passing the halfway mark for the year. Yes, we are halfway through 2023 already. Can you believe it? I definitely can't, and we need to help each other out. So we've got some goals that we want to take stock of and the progress that we'd like to make throughout the year. So we brought in the specialist, Shanaz Moose, to help us again with some introspection. It's going to be a goodie, and someone here to serve you and bring the goodness on. It's the one and only G-Man. Good morning, brother.
Oh, good morning, my brother, and happy Father's Day. Retrospectively to all of the dads out there, thank you to my beautiful wife, Linda, and my gorgeous kids for making it such a special day. Definitely one of my highlights of the year so far. Hopefully that stands for you as well. Brother Bear, I cannot believe. So just incidentally, we're all laughing at Zoe, laughing at something really ridiculous there, something completely inappropriate. But it looks like I'm telling her, what have you been doing this year? What are your goals for the rest of the year? That's what I want to know from you guys. I cannot believe that we've reached that halfway mark. What have been the highlights? What have been those major successes, those milestones that you've achieved, and what's on the cards for the rest of 2023? We'd love to know. Let us know on our WhatsApp line, 063-408-8863, if you'd like to chat about anything, including the weather today. If you're being affected in your area, let us know what that experience has been like. But we'll keep that conversation going for the next 3 hours and get it started right now with those official duties. Wiles got the news headlines, and I'll touch on the sport.
Yes, thank you so much, G-Man. Of course, official duties must commence, and starting off with national news headlines. Now, President Cyril Ramaphosa says the African peace mission to the Ukraine and Russia was impactful as both countries listened to their proposals. Now, Ramaphosa and the heads of state of Senegal, Zambia, the Comoros Island Group, Egypt, and the envoys of the Democratic Republic of Congo and Uganda met in Kiev on Friday with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky. Now, on Saturday, they met with President Vladimir Putin, who gave African leaders reasons why he believed many of their proposals were misguided, and therewith pouring cold water on plans already largely dismissed by the Kiev. Well, sticking to national news headlines, the stalemate regarding the use of staff cards for free travel on the Gautrain between the management of the Gautrain and Metal Workers Union, otherwise known as NUMSA, could leave passengers stranded this week. Now, NUMSA is threatening to strike because it couldn't reach an agreement for employees to use their staff cards for free travel on the train. But the Gautrain management has done away with the concession that staff may use the train to and from work for free, and have workers which have rejected this. Well, from our national news headlines, it's time to head over to international news. Now, more than 1 million people have so far been displaced by fighting in Sudan, including 250,000 refugees, and a UN Refugee Agency spokesperson has said. Now, the army and the paramilitary rapid support forces have been locked in weeks of conflict that has killed hundreds. Now, some 843,000 people have been displaced internally, and around 250,000 have fled across Sudan's borders. Now, refugees are streaming into Sudan's neighboring countries, Chad, Ethiopia, and South Sudan. And Egypt has received the highest number of Sudanese refugees, namely some 110,000 bodies. Well, carrying on with international news, Austrian Security Services yesterday thwarted a planned attack on Saturday's Pride Parade in the capital of Vienna. Now, 3 suspects aged between 14 and 20 were arrested on suspicion of planning to attack the parade, which was held to celebrate LGBTQ+ rights and had attracted some 300,000 people. Now, a quote coming through saying, "We managed to ensure the safety of all participants," and this being said by Omar Haijawi Pirshnar, Austria's domestic intelligence chief. And he said the 3 suspects, Austrian citizens with Bosnian and Chechen roots, sympathized with the Islamic State militant group. Well, carrying on with our international headlines, but definitely bringing it back home, the 96th Comrades Marathon champion, Tete Dijana, received a hero's welcome from family, friends, and the community when he returned home after his absolutely magnificent victory in this year's up run from Durban to Pietermaritzburg. Now, a special welcome ceremony was held for Dijana at Lonely Park outside Mahikeng, and 6 male runners from Northwest, and they were all at the ceremony, and they managed to make it among the top 10. And Adele Bruderick came in second in the women's race, and the provincial government promised it would do more to ensure that the young talent of Northwest Province was developed. Well, incredible stuff indeed, and that's the headlines I have for you when it comes to news. But speaking of headlines, G's got the latest when it comes to sport, and let me tell you, there's so much action to report on. Here he is right now.
Indeed, my friend, plenty on the footballing front. Let's start on the top tier with football. Croatia sadly missed out on their first international trophy. That was after losing on penalties to Spain in the Nations League final yesterday. Danny Carvajal, he calmly chipped home the winning effort to seal a 5-4 victory on spot kicks after Unai Simon had saved from Bruno Petrovic, and the contest in Rotterdam then had finished goalless with after extra time rather, and it's now Spain's first international trophy for 11 years since their victory at Euro 2012. Victory also means that Spain become the second nation to win the World Cup and, of course, the European Championship and Nations League, following France, who beat the Spanish side in 2021 in the Nation League's final. Now we turn to local footballing connections, and Bafana Bafana's head coach, Hugo Broos, didn't crack a smile, but he made it clear that he was already happy with his team's 2-1 win against Morocco. So Bafana Bafana, they took a 2-0 lead inside 48 minutes after a Moroccan own goal, and then Zakelele passes a strike, but Hakim Ziyech pulled one back on the hour mark. And South Africa currently top Group K with 7 points from their 4 games, but in playing in a 3-team group, their qualification program is now complete. Broos was insistent on his team putting out a good performance, and his team delivered exactly that. Then plenty of drama unfolding in cricket. Australian captain Pat Cummins starred with both bat and ball as the Ashes holders had the better of a rain-marred third day in their first test against England. So the lower order batsman made a useful 38 in a total of 386 that left Australia just 7 runs behind on the first innings. That fast bowler then dismissed Ben Duckett before England also lost their opener Zach Crawley in dramatic 20 minutes play between the showers. Then England were 28 for 2 in their second innings, a lead of just 35 runs at stumps. Then earlier, Usman Khawaja, he had top scored for the visitors on 141. Then another milestone for this young driver, Formula One, now main focus, and Max Verstappen. He equaled Ayrton Senna's career total of 41 victories with a dominant win at the Canadian Grand Prix yesterday. The Dutchman's 6th triumph in 8 races this season gave him a 69-point lead in the championship. It was his 100th victory for the Red Bull team. Aston Martin's Fernando Alonso, he passed Lewis Hamilton's Mercedes on track to win a battle for 3rd place. Then Ferrari's Charles Leclerc, he recovered from qualifying 11th to take a very credible and hard-fought 4th. That's where we leave our sport for now. Lorenzo Doris has stepped into studio to give us a bit of a review of all of the weekend's sporting action, or delve a bit deeper. But right now, of course, crazy weather across the country. Let's get the latest from Zozo.
Thank you, Graham. And we start off with a cold front that has moved into the Western Cape last night, accompanied by rain and strong winds. Now, it will also affect the Northern Cape, spreading to the Eastern Cape. The SA Weather Service have issued an orange level 5 warning for damaging interior winds, resulting in damage to settlements in coastal towns from Cape Town to Plettenberg Bay, and for high waves and wind, resulting in difficulty in navigation at sea between Alexander Bay and Plettenberg Bay. A yellow level 4 warning was issued for disruptive rain, resulting in flooding of roads and settlements in the northwestern parts of the Overberg districts, accompanied by damaging winds, resulting in transport routes being affected. And lastly, extremely high fire danger conditions are expected over northeastern parts of the Northern Cape, the extreme west of the Northwest, and the eastern parts of the Free State. Well, let's get into your temperatures for your Monday morning. Starting off in Polokwane, a low of 8 with a high of 26 can be expected. Mbombela 13:31, Pretoria 6 reaching a high of 23. Sunny in Johannesburg, 3 is your low, 22 your high. Mahikeng 225, Klerksdorp 224. If you're in Kimberley, a sunny day, but a cool -1 with a high of 19. Bloemfontein -2, 19. Richards Bay 17, excuse me, reaching a high of 30. If you're in Pietermaritzburg, 8 is your low, 28 your high. If you're in Durban, a low of 17, excuse me, with a high of 28 can be expected. Mthatha 8, 24, East London 10 with a high of 23. If you're in Cradock, 0 is your low, 18 your high. If you're in Kaberga, a low of 9 and a high of 19. George 8, 15. If you're in Cape Town, 8 is your low, 15 your high. Worcester expects some rain, 5 with a high of 11. Sutherland -1 with a high of 5. And Uppington with a low of 8 and a high of 18. Well, let's quickly take a look at your sunrise views. Starting off in Pinetown, Zwelihle snapped this beautiful photo. Look at those purple shades. Michelle in KZN is on her balcony, absolutely stunning. Tabiso is enjoying the cooler breeze outside, gorgeous. And Sharon from Johannesburg is heading out for work and shared this photo. Well, we would love to see yours, so please share it with us on our WhatsApp line.
Thank you so much, Zoe, and thank you, Mzansi, for sticking around. And let me tell you, it's going to get even better. Why? We've got 2 superstars coming through, serving us once again. Lorenzo Darius is here to show us all things sport. And then we've got Isa in the building. He's going to give me a 1, 2, 3 on boxing. And clearly, I need all the tips that I can get. So don't go anywhere. We're going to give you a chance to get into it. And we are going to do exactly that. We'll see you after this.
Making a cappuccino with thick creamy froth is now impressively easy. Jacobs.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Your timing is perfect as we delve into a little bit of sport. Now, of course, the Pumas will be defending their Currie Cup crown against the Cheetahs in Bloemfontein on Saturday. It was after the team from Mpumalanga and the Free State won their respective semi-finals this weekend. The Cheetahs doing it in dominant fashion, beating the Bulls 39-10 to secure home advantage for the season decider, while the Pumas, they earned the right to defend their title courtesy of what some are calling a shock 26-20 win over the Sharks. And he had a chat a bit about all of that action and what we can look forward to. Good Hope FM sports anchor Lorenzo Darries.
Hey.
Buddy, welcome back.
Yes.
We are loving this kind of, I want to call it an indication of where South African rugby is.
Yeah, no, definitely.
You know, so often we paint the Curry Cup with a kind of a lesser tier brush, but this is the engine room of South African rugby. When you see these two teams in the final contesting this title, how does that make you feel, man?
Sure, I'm super excited, firstly, for Jimmy Stonehouse and his team, because financially they cannot compete against anyone else in the country at the moment. And just to be able to make it to the final, they've done something. And then you look at the Cheetahs, the last few years, they've been, you know, moved from pillar to post, from one competition to the other. They've played in Europe, they've been taken away, Super Rugby, gone. And they've just shown that they deserve to be in that top franchise level at the moment.
They just keep delivering, and they seem like the out-and-out favourites. Were they not going up against the defending champions? I'd say that this is a walk in the park for a Cheetahs team that's got hometown advantage where it does seem to matter, and a culture of winning. Not just this season, but they seem to have found that click.
No, definitely. And we need to make mention, and a lot of people are going to bring this up in the next few months, is the fact that when the Cheetahs win the Curry Cup, the Springboks win the World Cup.
Is that how it works?
So that's how it's been the last two times as well. So we're definitely looking forward to it. Everyone's supporting the Cheetahs, but we have to support the Pumas as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, Jimmy ain't going to get out of the way for this
No,
one,
definitely he's not going to.
How do we put them in their kind of box? Because they've proven what they can do in the big moments. They've proven what they can do against the big sides, against the big names.
Yeah.
So kind of painting them with that brush of being kind of the underdogs almost serves the Pumas in this sense. There's very little pressure. Or is there? Put us in the picture in terms of mindset of the Pumas now.
Firstly, lots of pressure because you are the defending champions. But then again, I mentioned the World Cup, you know, and we're all about that superstition here in South Africa. You know, we want to see that happening. We want to see the Springboks win. But moving away from that, though, there's lots of pressure on the Pumas to show that they weren't a one-season wonder.
That they can actually deliver
that they
on this promise.
And now the Cheetahs are coming through and showing their muscle because they do have a little bit more money. You know, to bring in players. And every year we've seen the Pumas losing players, and it's happening this year again. They're already anticipating about 4 or 5 players moving to the likes of the Sharks, the Bulls, as well as the Cheetahs. So the thing is, they've got a lot to prove, knowing that they're playing away from home as well. But I don't want to take it away from the Cheetahs being at home. They've got a massive crowd that's coming through in Bloemfontein in the next week. So
and there's been a lovely momentum and traction with the Curry Cup this year as well, because we're going a bit rugby mad at the moment, and I think we understand that. So let me turn the tables here and play devil's advocate. Is it not then a bit of an indictment on South African rugby, the fact that we're looking at the big guns not being there, the Sharks and the Bulls, who you would have thought the Bulls out. I had a feeling the Bulls, this was going to be a special season.
Yeah.
With so much of focus here. Too long this season? Too much?
Too long.
Asked of the players? How do you kind of wrap your head around the big guns not performing?
Yeah, the big guns, firstly, you know, if we look at what the Province did and Dobbo coming out and saying he should have started his URC guys in that game where they lost, I think it was to the Lions, you know, and then they just destroyed the Sharks, you know, at Cape Town Stadium. And that was the mistake. They did not play the right guys. So it's all about playing these guys at the right time, management as well. We're not sure what's happening at the Bulls at the moment. Jake has not been doing well this season, all right? And he's played his big guns, the URC guys, when the opportunity was there. They just did not click. And you know, to lose to the Cheetahs like that and have such a big team, because they are the superstars of SA Rugby. And when they're not performing, then it's kind of like, what's going on? And then you're looking at Jan Goosen. He was called upon to be a future Springbok this year again, you know, after being a future Springbok years ago.
9 or 10 times before.
Yeah, and then them losing Papier as well in the, you know, not playing too well. He had a really good season, then injuries and all of those things. So there's something else happening behind the curtains that we don't know about at the Bulls.
So we'll watch that space, but in terms of these two teams being in the Curry Cup final, I will take it as a massive badge of honour for South African rugby that the tiers below the top are performing at this level. So all the best of luck to both camps this coming weekend. We absolutely love the fact that the Pumas are back there defending their title, but the Cheetahs, I think, probably the favourites for this one. For me, now we box.
Yes, now we box, and boxing style training has honestly become increasingly popular over the years. If you've tried it, you definitely know why I'm talking about this right now. So, but apart from this though, working out like a boxer isn't just punching with reckless abandonment, and at least not if you want to do it right and get a good workout of it, right? So, with that out the way, boxing involves power. We're talking about strategy, spot-on technique, and good conditioning. All of this needs to be incorporated to help fighters get through round after round against their opponents, and it is a tough matchup indeed. So here to focus on the conditioning aspect, we've got a professional boxer and fitness enthusiast in the building. Now, he goes by the name of Isa. That's right, Jay. How you doing, bro?
Good to meet you.
Good to meet you as well. I see you brought some recruits along as well.
Yeah,
Who
this
we
is one
got
of
here?
my champions.
Tumelo.
Tumelo, correct.
Tumelo,
yeah.
nice to meet you, brother.
Nice to meet you too.
Is he a professional boxer? Should I be scared? Is he going to be laying it thick?
He's one of my amateur fighters, so
Oh, nice.
he's quite good guy. He's been boxing with me for over 6 months.
Oh, nice
So
stuff.
he knows exactly what to do.
So if anybody wants to get into the swing of things, this is what they could turn out to become in 6 months' time, right?
Absolutely.
Nice. All right. So for everybody watching, Mzansi's here. We've got a little bit of a boxing theme. We've got another round coming out. What are we doing now? How are we starting this thing? What are you going to take us
So
to?
what basically we do, I'm just going to show with the Tumelo what is the boxing about.
Okay.
Because boxing comes with the fitness and the self-defense.
Yeah.
With the boxing, you can defend yourself outside there, and then you can also keep your body fit, and then the boxing help your brain as well. So with the Tumelo, as he's been boxing with me for over 6 months, so we all just go to show exactly what is boxing about in the form of if someone come to attack you or self-defense way.
Okay.
So that is exactly what we got
This
to
is
do.
a big moment for you. All his skills now are going to be put to the test through you, man, on live TV. You ready for this? All right, let's show off. Let's see what we can do. Let's do
So
it.
this is how we keep it. This is called jab. Go. Good. Punch along up. Go. Good. You got it. You go. Again. Go. Good. Long arm again. Go. Good. So you punch 1, 2, you jab. You got it. You got it. Go, buddy. Man. Go. Go. Again. 1, 2, jab. Go. 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 Go again. Yo. Yes, sir. Go. Good. Straight. Here we go. Asa. We got it. Stay some movement. We go. Good. Push. Here we go. Good. Give me a uppercut. I see you got the chip. Move away. We go. Good. Punch again. We go. Go. Again. Good. Again. Power here. That's it. We go. Give me 1, 2. Again. Go. Good. 1, 2. Boost. You got it. 1, 2. Chip. We got it. We go. Man. Go. Aside. We go. Move. Go. Punch. We go. Again. 1 more. Go. Man. Go. Good. You got it.
You,
go. Again. Go. Good. I see. Again. Good. Again. Give me double. Here we go. Double. Here we go, man. That's how we go.
Ooh.
Move aside. We got it. Good. Punch. We go. Good. Move again. We go.
Okay.
Good. Champ. We got, man. Open your arm. We got it. Good. Move here. So. Go. We got, man. Hey. That's how you got it. We got.
I love it.
Give 1, 2. We go.
Tumelo showing off.
Hey,
showing
man.
his
Uppercut. Here we go.
power, showing his
Again, power.
focus.
There we go. Safe. We got it. We got it.
That's
We
gonna
got.
punch
Move.
him.
We go.
Issa, maybe if I can
There
ask
we
you
go.
right now,
Hey. Move. We
this
got
focus,
it.
Issa,
Do
this combination that you guys are working on,
I see. We got it. One,
is
two.
this something that took 6 months to put together, right?
I'm telling you, we got it.
Okay.
1, 2. Good. We
Seeing
got
the
it.
focus
Good.
in
We
his
got
eyes.
it. Good. We got it. 1, 2. Step back. We got it. Come on. Go. Punch. Come forward. We got it. Again. Go. Back. Good. Left. We go. Move back. We got it. There we go. Hey.
All right.
Mamma mia.
Okay. I see you. Well said. How do we even do this? You gotta give a first pump there. Nice stuff.
Correct.
Man, I'm seeing the commitment to this, and what's more important to me is the focus. Constantly focused on you. His body positioning is always stable. It's always got the solid structure to it.
Correct.
Take me back now. Okay, you showed off.
Yes.
How do I get to that point? Where do we start? What are the basics? What do we first need to
So
learn?
basically, how do we start this type of boxing combination? We need to get you first through fitnesses.
Okay.
You must first starting some fitness training, and then learning how to punch 1, 2 is called jab and cross. So after you know how to punch jab and cross, then we can teach you some footwork.
Okay.
So after you know how to do your footwork, then you can become like training with us. Most of
Get to that level where we can
Correct,
hold it.
yeah,
Okay,
correct.
so we got like 30 seconds. You want to quickly maybe teach me and Mzansi as well a jab or a cross, maybe both, but we've got a little bit of time for this one.
Correct.
Can you take me through
So
it? What do I
we
do?
put
How do I
on-
stand?
So this is called number 7. You start
Okay.
from here to there. You see, you got it.
Ah, okay, number
Correct.
7,
Now you
alright.
keep your hand here on your face.
Yeah,
You keep your elbow down on the body. Correct. You keep your hand on the face. Yeah, on the side. Correct. We got it.
Okay.
So this is called jab and cross. 1, then 2. So when you punch them, you don't punch with your body, your arm. You punch with your body. I'll show you one more time. Look, you got it.
Ooh, I see that.
You got it. That's it. So you got to use your toes to punch. One more time. You got. Correct. So you got to give me jab here. We got jab. That's it. Control your body. You got it. Watch again. You go. That's it. You got it. You my champ. Hey, here you go. That's it. We got. Go. That's it. You got it. Now let's do this. Do this. Got it. You got it. Punch again. You go. There. You got it again. Go. There, good. I like your punch. This is a very good one.
Thank you.
It's
Thank
good.
you. All right, Mzansi, we're feeling like we're getting into the swing of things right now. Coach Issa is here. He's standing by, but don't go anywhere because we've got another round coming at you. We've gone through the basics. We've got another athlete that's going to come through and show off for us, and then hopefully we can go through our own paces and see what we got. We'll see you there. Don't go anywhere. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's do it. Jab.
Jab, gas, we go. That's it. Jab, gas, we go. Good. You got it.
Make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, yes, Mzansi, welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. We're carrying on with the theme of boxing right now. We've got one of the best coaches around. We're talking about Coach Issa. He is back with us this morning, and we're going to continue to delve into this world of boxing. Now, we're kind of dealing with a bit of a fence in the primary component of boxing, landing your combinations, which is obviously important, hitting your opponent with effective counter punches, and of course, scoring knockouts. But it isn't only about this. The aspects of boxing carry on, and it's all about that focus that you've got to enhance too when it comes to the game. So this is obviously all got to be put together in order to secure that victory. So focus and developing your defense is also a big component about this. So Coach Issa's here. Yes. We just went through some combinations and some basics.
Correct.
We'll talk about this new friend in a bit. I see Mahdi's over here. He's looking like he's got some confidence within him, and he's intimidating me. But we'll talk about him a little bit later. We were just going through some basic punches, right? We had the cross and we had the jab.
Correct. And then we have the hook. And then we have the
Okay, we
uppercut.
didn't get the hook. So let's get to the hook quickly. I just want to go to the basics here, let Mzansi see what a novice can do.
Lovely.
And then I want to see how we can take this up and where we can go to.
Very
Okay,
good.
so we got the stance, right?
Up, good.
Hand
You got
up.
it.
We're
You
protecting the
punch
body.
the jab here. Good. Again here. Give me hook here. That's it. You got this. Call it jab, cross, hook.
Jab,
You got
cross,
it.
hook.
Go
All right.
again slowly one more time.
Okay.
You got.
Jab.
Good. Again here.
Cross.
Give me hook again. That's it. So now I need it to go all together. It's called combination. What you make it a combination when you go together. Boom, boom, boom. That becomes a combination.
Okay,
You got
okay,
it.
okay. Let's try this.
Ma. I say again.
Okay,
good
one more time.
That's it, Eddie, yeah? Then, so you're gonna give me jab, cross, hook, straight. You ready?
Okay,
Good.
alright.
Go, buddy. We got it. I say good, yeah?
Okay, Philip, one more time.
You guys.
Okay, I'm still a novice. I'm getting ahead of myself here. I'm still learning. But I'm dying to know what it looks like when we can put these combinations together, when someone puts the time, the focus, and the commitment in. What do they look like? Enter Mahdi over here, right? How long have you been working with him for?
Mardi been with me for over 4 years, I think so.
All right.
He's one of my best boxer. He's an amateur boxer.
Nice.
And he done a lot. So, yeah, he's a good guy.
All right, so brace yourselves, Mzansi. We've got a real proper box over here. You saw what I could do. Now see what you could do if you actually put some effort and work into it. All right, so this is your time to show off what you guys can be going
Mardi, you
for.
got it. Give me
Combinations.
jab, yeah? Good. Push again. Good. Here we go. You can see the movement. Walk. We got it. Go. Go. Ma. Poof. Go. Good. You're gonna give me jab, hook, uppercut. We got it. Go. Good. Hey, ma. Give me. Here we go. Go. We go. Good. One to skip. You got it. Push, ma. Go. Eddie, hook. We go. Go. Good. Here we go, ma. Ma. Hey. Again. Push. Move. We got it. Give me uppercut. We go. Again. Repeat. Go. Go. Here we go. There we go. Good. Move again. We got it. Control your movement. Move. Footwork. Want to go under. We got it. Go. Ma. Good. Walk. 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 Push. Go. Here we go. Move. We go, ma. Hey. Good. We got it. Watch. 1, 2. Uppercut. 1, 2. We go. Move. Go. We go. We go. Repeat. We go. 1, 2. We got it. We go. Move. We go. 1, 2. We got Mardi. We got 6 punch. We go. Good. We got it. Push. We go. Here we go. That is my champ. You got it. Go, buddy. We go, ma. Go. We go straight. Straight. Here we go. Footwork. We go. Move. We go. Ma. Go again. Again. Go. Power. Power. Push. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Whoa.
Yes,
Whoa.
man.
Ma,
Yes,
ma.
man. I love it. I love
Good.
it.
You got it. Go. Push. Good. Watch. Double. Here we go. Hey. Whoa. Go. Watch. We go. Watch. Ma. Hey. Hey. Again. That is my champ. Got it.
Absolute
There you
power.
go. Let them.
Hey, man.
There.
Mahdi, well done, bro. I can clearly see the work's paying off. You look so fast, you've got power, you've got efficiency, but it looks like you're dancing while you move, and I think that's what is a testament to the work you've put in. So
Absolutely.
thank you for coming through. Are your hands okay?
Yeah, no,
After
it's all
that?
fine.
The man is Salah Mahdi. Thank you so much, Coach Issy.
Good.
Thank you
Nice
so
to meet
much
you.
for coming
You're
through,
welcome,
educating us, showing us what potential there is within boxing. And if you guys want to get involved, reach out to this man right here. He's a wealth of knowledge, someone that can empower you and give you the ability to not only have an offense, but a defense, which is always so important. So, guys, thank you so much. Wishing nothing but the best of luck for your career as well. And speaking of boxing, let's get into it right now.
Yeah, time to connect with one of our absolute favorites. We are so proud of this kid right now. Kevin Lorena is well on his way to returning to the heavyweight division, where we'd love to see him, having taken a massive step towards that goal with a unanimous victory over Riyad Meri last month to claim the WBC silver title. He did it in style. And from that, Lorena has now earned the right to challenge the current WBC Bridgerweight champion Lukasz Rozanski. And Lorena now joins us to chat about that potential fight and what the future holds for a man who has everything laying at his feet right now. And I really hope it feels like that. Kev, how are you doing, my friend? Good to connect with you, brother.
Long time, G, and thanks very much for that. It's good to be back to winning ways and good to be back on Expresso again.
Oh, buddy, it's lovely to have you on the show again, battling with the sound there. We're going to try and crank that sound up. But I've got to say, first of all, congratulations with the win over Riyad. The fight management was great. I think we always want to see a knockout from you, obviously, because you're a big puncher. But there was something really satisfying at looking at the output, how you managed the flow of that fight, how you managed his tactics. How did you feel after that victory?
Yeah, like you said, it was a tactical performance in a sense of we knew what we had to do to get the victory, and we didn't want to make any unnecessary mistakes to hinder that.
We're not getting the VO through from the champ as yet. We're going to make a few adjustments to the sound there, and then we'll get back with Kevin in just a moment. An unbelievable opportunity waiting at his feet right now, but we'd love to see him step back up to the heavyweight division. Will he do it? We'll find out on the other side.
Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Hopefully we have sorted out our technical issues and we can connect with one of our favorite sons, Kevin Arena, as I was saying, is well on his way to returning to the heavyweight division where it seems he wants to be, having taken a huge step towards that with a unanimous and very hard-fought victory over Riyad Mary last month to claim that WBC silver title. What's ahead for the young fighter right now? We are going to find out. As we say once again, good morning to Kev. Good morning. Let's see if we can hear that beautiful voice. Kevin, how are you, bro?
Morning, G, and hopefully this time round we're all clear.
There we go, definitely all clear. I've got to ask, and congratulate you once again, a brilliant fight. I joked about, you know, that punching power and wanting to see the knockout every time you step into the ring, which must be a different kind of pressure for you, but the fight management was amazing. Your work rate was fantastic. The overall picture looked good. How did that fight feel to you?
I definitely do rate it as one of my top 3 performances. So
Wow.
it was good to get back to winning ways. Back to not getting the knockout. I had Riyad Mary hurt several times, but you know, the game plan was to always be smart, get the victory, and get the goal shot. Because, you know, in boxing, the big guys, anything can happen, and it takes one punch to turn the fight around. So I just went into that fight with a game plan of that fight was the objective, not my mission. And I had to tick off that objective in order to get to the final mission, which is now the gold. So it was just a smart way of winning, trying to win each round and just win each round and go on and go on and go on and steal that victory from Riyad Mary without having to get into a dogfight and making it a 50-50 fight.
Completely. How difficult, that being said, how difficult is that being the kind of fighter that you are? Because I think people just expect you start out your career, you have a plan, you stick to your plan, you get your belts. Things change every day. Fighters change every day. The whole ecosystem seems to be evolving now more than ever before. How difficult is it when you're in the heat of battle, and maybe your corner plays a vital role here, to stick to the plan? How much of that is going on in your head when you're fighting, dude?
A whole lot of it, because, you know, you're like an animal in there, and not literally, but you have that killer instinct, right?
You've got it, yeah.
So for me, it's quite hard. I mean, we saw round 12. Round 12 was me forgetting the game plan and going 50-50, and then it became a 50-50 fight. So that's a true example of letting the game plan out the window for that 1 minute, and then the fight becomes a 50-50. So it is challenging. Every time you get to the corner, you need to regroup and just remind yourself you have a game plan. Stick to the game plan. There's going to be moments where the game plan goes out the window, but the most important thing is getting back to it and steering away to a victory.
And you did that beautifully. Now you get your shot. Is Rozanski the fight you want? Have you pretty much locked this in? And if so, when is it going to happen? And is this the ideal next step for you?
Yes, it is, G. It's I've always wanted the WBC gold, right? So he's the champion. He's got something I've always wanted and longed for. He's a tough fighter. He's a good competitor. We're in negotiations right now to go to Poland towards the end of September, either middle September, end September, or early October. We're still in early negotiations. It doesn't look like it's going to be in South Africa, unfortunately, due to the rand dollar, and he's the champion. So I might need to get on my bicycle and fly across the pond to take him on, but that's no problem. He is, again, as well, I'm saying, a step in my path. He's another objective. I want the big shot at heavyweight again. It was within my fingertips and I let it fall out. And we know now that Daniel Dubois is fighting Alexander Usyk for big money, for all the marbles. So that's my goal. I know I was right there. I made a mistake, a controversial mistake, some would say.
Yeah.
But I need to beat Lucas Rosinski, and I need to beat him well, and that will put me in a good position to challenge for the heavyweight championship of the world again.
Is that what it's about, bro? Let's be honest here. There's so much chatter around the heavyweight title. Why heavyweight? What is it about that heavyweight title that means the most in boxing, do you think?
You know, I think it's hard to say means the most, because you might have guys who it's a very the word I'm looking for is like a
It's loaded, yeah.
perspective. Well, people might think to yourself, oh, well, the smaller guys, the little Davis, the little Garcia are lighting up the boxing world. But I think when you look back and you sit back, everyone wants to watch the big boys. The glamour division are the big guys putting a beating on each other because you're almost guaranteed a barn burner or a knockout.
Yeah.
And it's the big boys fighting, you know, and the glamour division, the pinnacle of boxing has and will always be the heavyweight division. I mean, if you look through the legends, you know, not dating so far back, but you got Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, Holyfield, you know, Klitschko's. This is a heavyweight division. That's just what puts asses in seats, and that's what generates the revenue for the sport. So I think heavyweight boxing has always been the glamour division, but probably the division with the most exciting knockouts too. So that's probably why it's the pinnacle.
Buddy, as impressive as you are as a fighter, and I think few have been able to see how much work you put in behind the scenes, you're even more impressive as a family man and a father. So happy Father's Day for yesterday, my brother. I hope you had an amazing day, and I hope your family is just loving this journey that you're on, because your trajectory now is insane, dude. So good to be connecting with you, my brother. Have an amazing day.
Thank you so much, G, and thank you for the well wishes. And it's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you again. And look after yourself, champ.
Oh, man, this guy. You can catch more from Kevin Lorena by tuning into The Insider tonight. From 6 p.m., they go inside.
How I draw my courage, it's being proudly South African, representing my country, representing my team, representing my wife, my beautiful children.
Open up to winter wonders as Kevin Lorena's epic WBC title win warms the hearts of SA boxing fans hungry for a heavyweight champion. That's the Insider SA. This Monday evening at 6. Repeat Saturday at 1 p.m. on S3.
Well, join us as we say bonjour and get ready for an extraordinary French experience. Now purchase any Clover product for a chance to win an incredible adventure. 5 lucky winners and their partners could be saying bon voyage as they embark on a cruise to the paradise of Ibiza from the enchanting port of Marseille. Now, it's so wonderful to have you here, Raul, in the kitchen with me, because we are really going to merge food and France, because they really are a culinary match made in heaven. And these perfectly crafted cheese and potato croquettes is what our flavor for the day is. They are rich in flavor, crisped to perfection, and guaranteed to have everyone wanting more.
Yeah, you pretty much described them as kryptonite balls. How do we say no to this?
Kryptonite balls, I love that.
So we've got a lot going on, but it's actually not a lot, and it's not that overwhelming. On your side, you've got some mashed potato, which I've seen there, and then you've got garlic, chives, salt, and pepper, and that essentially is going to make up your mashed components. So you can pretty much get it started and mash those all together if you'd like. I'm going to be handling the dirty stuff, so that's why I've gloved up for this one. Not dirty in the sense of it's not a nice dirty, but it's just going to get sticky, and a lot of flavor is going to get involved in your hands. So you don't have to wear the gloves, but you can indeed.
So you want to get in there with your gloves while you're at it?
Let me just get in here. I'm nice and
And then
warmed up
I'm
for
going
my
to chop up
boxing.
some cheese
Oh,
for us,
yes,
because
please.
that's going to go into the center of our croquet.
Yeah.
Because when you are our croquette, because I nearly said you know, isn't croquet the sport?
Croquet is the sport, yes, but there's something interesting about croquette and croquet. Now, I know with a croquette,
Yes,
right?
that's the food.
Apparently, the word comes from, I think what originally meant something to do with like crunch or something along those lines. And it's actually a French word, and hence the actual full term of croquette, because it gives you that crunch and that beautiful bite as you bite into these balls. Let me tell you, it's going to give you all of that.
Fantastic. So I'm going to get our center going
Yes,
with our cheddar full cream cheese. You can play around with tussers if you want. We're going to go for cheddar today. You want, when you bite into that ball, for it to be cheesy, and it's going to melt as we deep fry them. So I'm just going to do a little, like a tiny little square.
I'm just picturing, like, while you're cutting that, just picturing that on a full melt inside these balls. Hopefully you can get the croquette crunch that we're desiring, and then once you get to the inside, imagine the melt of this and the flavor coming through from the cheese. Oh, it sounds like heaven. Hopefully we can replicate that right now.
Indeed. So
Okay,
I
nice.
have got
So,
the cheese
yes.
that needs to go into the center of the potato that you
So let
are.
me show you how we kind of make these. So you can see the 3 that have already been done prior. What I'm going to do here, let me just make it a little bit smaller. So I first make the ball, right? Just give it that like structure.
Okay.
And then I find this to be easier. You take one of these pieces and then we're going to pop it inside. So check that out, cameraman.
You're
Pop.
squishing it in there.
Squish it in there, and then I can just kind of like fold it over. And then voila, the cheese is gone.
You're covered.
Yeah, you do, because remember, you want that heat to really come through from all sides and melt this cheese in a perfect way that just gives you that
crunch that you want. Oh, I love that.
Nicely done. And as simple as that, the cheese is there, and then we're going to our step 2.
Well,
All right.
Step 2 is deep frying our delicious
Yes.
balls. So we've got some hot oil ready on standby. We're going to start off with our ready-made balls that you've now made in the TV world.
Yes, in the TV world. And this is the interesting part, because I always thought that you'd start with the wet, like an egg yolk.
I also thought so.
Yeah, and then flour, and then your breadcrumb. But apparently with this one, we're doing it differently. So pay attention here. Firstly, we get the balls into the flour. So as you can see, dipping it in the flour. And like you're noticing right now, I think it's the moisture that's allowing the flour to actually bind with it. Now, we go over to the egg mix over here, and that's going to allow the breadcrumbs.
Oh, it looks like the egg's struggling to want to
It is, yeah. You got to get involved in this one, but
make sure it's
there we
coated
go.
everywhere, because that's what's going to allow your breadcrumbs to stick to your croquettes.
Okay, we've got a good covering there. You see, this is why the gloves are really handy. And then we just breadcrumb this, and voila, it's primed, it's ready for action. I'll hand it over to Zoe over there, and she pops it into
And
the
be
hot
careful,
oil.
the oil is hot, so be
watch the splash.
gentle.
Nicely done.
There
I
we
think our work here is
go.
done, Zoe.
Oh,
Lovely stuff.
fantastic. We're going to let that get golden before you get to say bon appetit. And if you want to get your hands on this delicious recipe, you can visit our website, expressoshow.com. And remember to stand your chance to win an amazing rugby experience. Buy any Clover product and keep your till slip handy. Then dial *120 *560# and follow the prompts to enter, and keep watching Expresso daily to find out more. There are some T's and C's that can be found on clover.co.za. Now look at this. This is pretty much, we have gone for a very beautiful
Look at this, golden brown.
golden.
Doesn't get better.
Do you want to should we open this up?
Oh, yes, please, let's do that. I've got a knife right here.
Look at that.
Moment of truth. I hope the cheese is melted.
Oh, I'm sure it did.
All right,
Otherwise,
Cameraman,
we'll
are
have
you
to put
zooming
it back
on
in
this
there.
one?
Did it melt? Did it
Ooh,
melt?
it's got a bit of a melt. It's almost there.
We need to fry it more to get more of that cheesy melt in it.
I'm happy with
Oh,
it. I think that's a job well done. Mzansi, you guys can try this as well. Obviously, just a little bit more time and the cheese will get a full melt. But
need some more
it's
melt.
come together, though. It's
It
there.
did. I think
Nice.
our oil was a bit too hot, but you know what? This was incredible. So now you know.
I'll claim it.
Look at that.
Yeah.
There you go.
Only you can make my day. Do it like this. Do it like, get it, move it, own it. Do it like this.
Bespoke.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, Mzansi, welcome back at your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Monday, and we are diving straight into everything that's been going down, and especially when it comes to weather, and that's what we're doing right now. Now, we've seen the news of the severe flooding and, of course, the damage to infrastructure in various parts of the Western Cape, and thanks to the intense cold fronts that hit last week, it was intense indeed, to say the least. But we've got Colin Diner here, the Chief Director from Western Cape Disaster Management, and he's joining us via video call to give an assessment on how things are going from over the weekend and what to expect in the next few days. Colin, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. Yes, very windy, very cold, but keeping well. Thank you.
Yeah, we feel you.
Very windy and cold indeed. Colin, from a disaster management point of view, how are things from the weekend? I mean, has there been a lot of repairing when it comes to infrastructure? Were there any evacuations that needed to take place?
Yeah, so it's been a very busy week. Obviously, from Thursday, we when this started happening. So we got 4 cold fronts. We're right in the middle of the 4th one at the moment. Initially, the damage was towards the city of Cape Town and off the west coast. The warning that we received for today is going to go down towards the Cape Winelands and the Overberg. We had to do quite a lot of evacuations over the weekend, specifically up in the Clan William, Cedarburg, Matsikoma area. A lot of them were precautionary evacuations because of dams that needed to be opened. You know, the whole Western Cape water system is up in that area, so a lot of those dams had to be opened. So we had a lot of rivers bursting their banks, overflowing. We unfortunately had 2 fatalities, and we had quite a couple of towns cut off from, with roads not being passable. So it's been a very, very busy weekend, and we do expect today and tomorrow to continue to be so. Just another thing, yes, quite a bit of infrastructure damage. So our Department of Infrastructure has done a lot of work in keeping roads just passable so that our emergency teams could get to places. So all in all, I think an operation that has went well, but really it is very difficult conditions.
Wow, man. I mean, just looking at some of these images while you're chatting, we can definitely see how this has impacted communities and the area. It's insane to me. You mentioned something quite pertinent, which raised my alarm flag there. You said we're kind of in the 4th cold front right now. So are there more to be expected? Is the worst still to come? What were you expecting here in this one?
Yeah, so there were 4 cold fronts that came through. The first one and the second one were quite severe. That caused the most of the rain. It caused most of the damage to the Eskom infrastructure, which put the Hermanus to Gansbaai area out for 2 days. So those are the worst. The third one hit yesterday morning. Fortunately, it was not so severe. But I must say, at the moment, we're experiencing very, very high winds, and there is quite a bit of rain coming through. So hopefully, this one would have been through by about mid-morning, and then we can start looking at possibly still just some rain going forward. But by the end of the week, we should be over it.
You know what? I think a lot of people are ready. I don't think I've ever remembered June being this cold and wet so early in the winter season. Now, Colin, we're thinking about the people who have been displaced and damaged properties, the damage that has taken place to infrastructure. How long do you anticipate the severe weather conditions to continue for?
Okay, look, I mean, we're in our winter rainfall period, so normally we get a lot of rain over this period, through the winter. Our summers obviously are very dry, and then we have a wildfire season. But we are expecting, June is generally a tough time. South African Weather Service's long-term prediction for this winter is that we'll have a more milder late winter. So come July, August, possibly not the kind of rains that we normally see.
Interesting stuff. Look, it's so great to have you here just to give us more insight into the current situation. Maybe a last question for you. In terms of helping Mzansi and anyone listening right now, do you have any sort of precautionary tips for us, especially when it comes to maybe anyone experiencing flooding in their neighborhood or anything of that nature? Who do they contact? How do they maybe reach out to someone that can assist them? And can we help others in need at the same time, with that being said?
Yeah, so thank you very much. I think just maybe 2 things. Firstly, people can help us by protecting themselves. I think that's really very important. When you're in an acute stage of a disaster like this, you know, the two drownings we've had, or fatalities we've had, you know, we're not completely sure of all the facts yet, but from the initial facts, it is people that try to cross rivers, people that chose not to evacuate. You know, people must listen to what the reports are. When weather services gives a warning, when we give a warning, please adhere to them. They've been very accurate up to now. We've been following up every day. So, you know, that would help a lot. If we ask people not to travel on specific roads, don't cross those roads. From a humanitarian perspective, we've got exceptional partners, you know, Gift of the Givers being one of them, Heal Our Land, all these different foundations that work with us. So they're really experts when it comes to humanitarian aid and assistance like that. So, you know, I mean, if people wanting to assist, wanting to help, I would definitely recommend to work with those groups, because they work with us. So, especially now when we're dealing a lot more with evacuations and rescues and people need to get food. Just to give you an example, yesterday we were assisted by Gift of the Givers to move more than 8 tons of food into areas that had been cut off. We sent our helicopters together with them and we were able to reach places. So you know, it's a magnificent community and government effort, and I think what's really crucial is to get that kind of, you know, is for people to support the people who actually do this kind of thing.
Well, Colin, thank you so much for your time and giving us an update, also giving us ways in how we can help those in need. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
There we go. That's Colin Diner, Chief Director of Western Cape Disaster Management, giving us an update of what's happening with the severe weather in and around the Western Cape. And if you are on the ground, please be careful, be as safe as possible. Stay tuned to listen to the radio. Keep looking out for reports, because that is where you'll get the most accurate information. But thank you so much to each and everyone. Stay safe where you can. Yeah. But let's quickly catch up with those morning headlines for your 7 o'clock update.
Thank you so much. So just before the top of the hour, and yes, we will bring you a full weather update and some of those warnings in just a moment. But right now, let's get into our national news headlines. We start here in South Africa, obviously, where the National Transport Department has a backlog of some 350,000 driver's license cards to tackle after the machine which produces them broke down, but is now back in full production, thankfully. Department spokesperson Colin Msibi said yesterday this was after the department's statement last month, informing the public that the machine was taken out of production for 3 weeks to replace a broken part identified during routine maintenance. The machine has printed on average of 2,850,000 cards per annum in the past 2 financial years, so it's had some work to do. And we stay with our South African news, and President Cyril Ramaphosa says the African peace mission to Ukraine and Russia was impactful as both countries listened to their proposals. Now, Ramaphosa and the heads of state of Senegal, Zambia, and Comoros, or the Comoros Islands, Egypt, and envoys of the Democratic Republic of the Congo and Uganda met in Kiev this past Friday with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Then on Saturday, they met with President Vladimir Putin, who gave African leaders reasons why he believed many of their proposals were misguided, therewith pouring cold water on plans already largely dismissed by Kiev. Now, we stay on the international news front, and China's Foreign Affairs Minister Qin Gang has told his U.S. counterpart, Anthony Blinken, that China's committed to building a stable and constructive relationship with the U.S. He emphasized the importance of diplomacy and maintaining open channels of communication to reduce the risk of misperception. Now, the two top diplomats had talks during the highest level official U.S. visit to China in the last 5 years at least. Blinken invited Qin to visit Washington, D.C. to, quote, continue the discussions. And they agreed to schedule a reciprocal visit at a mutually sustainable time. Now, more than 1 million people have so far been displaced by fighting in Sudan. 1 million. That's including 250,000 refugees. This is according to a UN refugee agency spokesperson. Now, the army and the paramilitary rapid support forces have been locked in weeks of conflict that has killed hundreds. Now, some 843,000 people have been displaced internally, and around 250,000 have fled across Sudan's borders. Refugees are streaming into Sudan's neighboring countries, being Chad, Ethiopia, and South Sudan. Egypt has received the highest number of Sudanese refugees, over 100,000 to be specific. Now, Oregon Zoo staff in the US have trained a rescued 9-year-old otter, Juno, how to play basketball to ease her arthritis. We love everything about the story. Juno just loves to play a little b-ball, and she's jolly good at it too, by the looks of it. This is according to Nicole Hiskey, a keeper at the zoo. Now, Juno was rescued as a pup after she was orphaned off the coast of California, and after that joined a rescue and care program for rehabilitation. Well, unable to be paired with a surrogate mum, she was deemed non-releasable by wildlife authorities, unfortunately. Well, since then, shooting hoops has become a way of life for Juno, and she is now becoming quite a totem for the natural world, even if she can't get back out there. Well done, Juno. Well, that's where we leave our news headlines for now. Plenty happening on the sporting front after the weekend. Let's take stock with Ryle.
Thank you so much, G-Man. Yes, it's time to take a look at the sporting action once again. And starting with soccer news, Croatia missed out on their first international trophy after losing on penalties to Spain in the Nations League final. Now, Danny Carvajal calmly whipped home the winning effort to seal a 5-4 victory on spot. And the kicks were after Unai Simon had saved from Bruno Pekovic. Now, the contest in Rotterdam had finished goalless after extra time. And it is Spain's first international trophy for 11 years since their victory at Euro 2012. Now, victory also means Spain become the second nation to win the World Cup, European Championship, and a Nations League, following France, who beat the Spanish in the 2021 Nations League final. Well, sticking to football action right now, Bafana coach Hugo Broos didn't crack a smile, but made it clear that his team's 2-1 win against Morocco made him very happy. Now, Bafana took a 2-0 lead inside 48 minutes after a Moroccan own goal after Zakele Lepasa's strike, but Hakim Ziyech pulled one back on the hour mark. Now, South Africa currently tops Group K with 7 points from 4 games, but in playing in a 3-team group, their qualification program is complete. Now, Bruce is insistent on his team putting out a good performance, and his team gave him exactly that. Well, from their football action, we head over to the cricket pitch, and Australia captain Pat Cummins starred with both bat and ball as the Ashes holders had the better of a rain-marred third day in the first test against England. Now, the lower order batsman made a useful 38 in a total of 386 runs that left Australia just 7 runs behind on the first innings. And the fast bowler then dismissed Ben Duckett before England also lost their other opener, Zach Crawley, in a dramatic 20 minutes of play between the showers. Now, England were 28 for 2 in their second innings and a lead of just 35 runs at stumps. Now, earlier, Usman Khawaja top scored with the visitors with 141 runs. Well, from the cricket pitch right now, we head over to Formula One action, and it is insane. Max Verstappen equaled Ayrton Senna's career total of 41 victories with a dominant win at the Canadian Grand Prix. Now, the Dutchman's 6th triumph in 8 races this season gave him a 69-point lead in the championship and was the 100th victory for his Red Bull team. Now, Aston Martin's Fernando Alonso passed Lewis Hamilton, Mercedes, on track to win a battle for 3rd place. On top of this, Ferrari's Charles Leclerc recovered from qualifying 11th to take 4th place. Well, that's all the sporting action I have for you. G will probably be back in the next hour for more, but for now, though, it's time to dive in the traffic with Zoe.
Thank you, Ryle. Well, let's take a look at the roads. Starting off in Cape Town, Mfuleni, there's been an accident. It's on the N2 inbound at Muway. All lanes are open. Please exercise caution this morning. If you're in Somerset West, there's a truck that has overturned on its side, and that's outbound on Salaris Pass near the lookout point. Please approach with caution. And staying in Cape Town, Chapman's Peak, the road is closed due to the weather conditions. Please use an alternative route. And in central Pretoria, there's been an accident. It's on the corner of Khosi Mampuru and Vesachi Road. The road has been closed here for now. Please use an alternative route. We'll keep you updated. Well, that's your traffic. Let's take another look at your weather. And Now we start off with some news. The mayor of Cape Town, Jordan Hill-Lewis, says no deaths have been reported in the Cape Town as such. He was reacting to reports that 2 people had died in the Western Cape following the severe flooding. Hill-Lewis said he regretted that there was a loss of life at Swellendam and that there were also unconfirmed reports of a death in the Drakensberg area. He said rescue workers had to pull several people from floodwater in the city. Parts of the province are still underwater after pouring rain and strong winds caused widespread flooding. Meanwhile, mopping up operations continue. Another cold front moved into the area last night. Well, let's take a look at your temperatures, starting off in Polokwane. Expect a low of 8 and a high of 26. Mbombela 13 with a high of 31. Pretoria, sunny, 6 is your low, 23 your high. Johannesburg, 3 with a high of 22. A sunny day for Mahikeng, 2 with a high of 25. Klerksdorp, 2 with a high of 24. If you're in Kimberley, -1 with a high of 19 can be expected. Bloemfontein, a cool -2 with a high of 19. Sunny in Richards Bay, 17 with a high of 30. Pietermaritzburg, 8 reaching a high of 28. Durban 17 with a warm 28 for a high. Mthatha sunny, 8 is your low, 24 your high. East London 10, 23. Cradock 0 with a high of 18. Some rain can be expected in Gqeberha with a low of 9, a high of 19. Georgia, rainy conditions, a low of 8 with a high of 15. Cape Town, brace yourself for some more rain. 8 is your low, 15 your high. Worcester 5 with a high of 11. Sutherland, a cold day ahead, -1 with a high of 5. And Uppington, your low for today is 3, your high 18. Well, those are your temperatures for your Monday, but let's take a look at those sunrise views. And kicking us off for our 7 a.m. update is Lizelle in Brantford. And she's on her way to the shops and shared this lovely view filled with bold red hues. Shanice in Pennington, feeling very excited around her. From nature to blue skies, look at that. Natasha from Shelley Beach sent in this morning while watching the sun rising up over the ocean. And Carrie in Krugersdorp was heading out to work and enjoying the calming pinks around her and just had to share this view with us. We love it. Well, thank you for those sunrise views. If you have one to share with us, please do so on 063 408 8863.
Oh, I am loving this young man already. We've only just connected. I'm talking about Zwile. He is a phenom. There is so much that this young man can do, and of course he's brought along some of his friends. Thank you so much to the gents for joining us. Now, yes, his name is Zwile. He's an award-winning electric Afro jazz performer. I hate to put him in a bracket, but we've got to kind of start somewhere. He's also an incredible saxophonist who uses his music to trigger the solistic abilities of anyone and everyone who listens to his melodies. If you don't know what I mean, you will after you see the first performance. Oh, Brother Bear, thank you so much for joining us, man. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
This is a crazy little slice of studio floor. Some of the most famous and amazing artists in the world have been here. Now it's your turn.
Really amazing. It's such an honor.
It's your turn.
It's my turn.
I'm watching you clutch the sax like a baby, man, or maybe like a partner in life. I don't know. How did you find yourself? Because this is a very demanding, quite a complex partner to choose in a musical journey. Why the sax? What is it about this?
Well, maybe I must say I love singing. So back then I was just looking for something that's close to a human voice.
Oh, wow.
So the saxophone is just, it does amazing things close to a human voice. So I was like, yeah, I want to play this.
I want to do it. And obviously the musical talent is part of it, but you've got to master these skills. You have a background in teaching. Is there an overlap? Or is that a past life or maybe a future life? Is there a way that these two kind of overlap when you think of your music and the teaching background? Where is that common thread?
Well, maybe I should just mention that I also love working with the youth. So that's where teaching comes in, you know. When I'm off stage, I'm just out there, you know, teaching kids and just getting that moving as well. So, yeah.
To inspire this, get this in the hands of as many young people as we absolutely can. You're going to open with a song called Faraday's. Very quickly, what's this about?
This is a song I wrote for my dad. My dad's nickname is Fridays.
Oh, cool.
His name is Friday. He was born on a Friday. I was born on a Friday. So why not Fridays? So
Fridays.
yeah, it's my father's nickname. That's what his friends call him anyway.
Well, I know it's a Monday, but we unofficially are going to make it a Faraday. Okay, here he is, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time on your Feel Good Expresso stage. It is Zwile performing Faradays, just for you, Dad. First of all, your dad must be amazing. Okay, if that's his song, then he must be amazing. Friday, I hope you absolutely enjoyed that, gents. Thank you so much. If you're wondering why your face is doing weird things, you're getting the stank face and you're catching a beat like you've never been able to, that's solistic ability, okay? That's what I meant. We will teach you the soul by the end of today. Ladies and gentlemen, a massive round of applause for this phenom. It's Zwile on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Go and download it now. Well done, boy. Thank you so much. You. Batman or Superman, our dads are our first superheroes. And if you think you have the best dad in town, then how better to show it than by giving him a chance to win a 2,000 Rand Dose of Care cash prize, courtesy of Panado SA. Each Monday through Friday from the 12th to the 23rd of June. To stand a chance of winning him one of these 10 daily giveaways, enter by replying to the competition post that is posted on the Expresso Facebook page, Expresso Instagram page, or the Expresso Twitter page during the competition period. Remember to use the hashtag Panado SA and hashtag A Dose of Care in your answer. T's and C's apply.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, yes, it's welcome back, your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And let us brighten things up right now, seeing that it's a cold Monday. And we're going to do that with a group of bright students. So they hail from the Cape Academy of Mathematics, Science and Technology. And they're going to be sending a few bright learners to an international robotics competition in the United States this year. It's also exciting, and the students have already made Cape Academy proud by already winning awards in local competitions, but now it's time to fly the flag of South Africa high in the States. Yes! So today in studio we are joined by Fatima Jakut from the Saki Kamva Foundation, and I want to thank her so much for joining us. And we do have the incredible team on standby. Let's say good morning to the team. Yes! So we will be hearing about the team in just a bit, but let's find out what's going on, what's getting us so excited. And firstly, good morning. Fatima, how are you doing?
Very well, and yourself, Ralph?
I'm good. I'm excited. This is incredible stuff. This is a competition where our people are representing our country in the world of the future for me. We're talking about robotics. Tell me more about this competition. How did they qualify and what's actually going on here?
Well, it's a long journey for them. It's a whole season. They started last year already in September, August, September with the season.
Yeah.
So there is it's an international competition. It's called the First Tech Challenge. So the competition is announced from the US, and they have to do certain things and build a robot according to certain standards and try to maximize the score in that 2.5 minutes that they have in order to compete.
Wow, a little time to make a massive statement on a global stage. But what you're doing in its entirety, I think, is so exciting. I believe you and your partner, Kudakwashe, who is not apparently here, he's already, or he or she is already in the States. You founded the robotics team. You've got the STEM club that you're also running. Talk to me about this initiative, why you thought it was so important, and why it's getting everyone so excited.
Yes, well, we're looking at 21st century skills that we are developing at Saki Kamva Foundation. So Saki Kamva means building a future. So we want to build the future of our youth and children now, and for them to have the relevant skills in the 21st century work for the 21st century workplace. So we do robotics, coding, aviation, space science. We've got various partners across South Africa that we do this. But this exciting competition allows our students to be able to compete internationally, not just locally, internationally as well, and build various skill sets. It's not just coding and robotics, but it excites them because they get to work in the community, do some outreach. Astrova is one of the teams that we have. We've got 3 more First Tech Challenge teams. And then there's the World Robot Olympiad. We've got about 20 teams that are entering this year, and the competition is in August. And then also the first Lego League competition that takes place in October. So lots and lots of exciting things happening with the kids and their development.
It's exciting. It's making me jealous. Like, where was this when we were younger? But this is so relevant. It's so pertinent. Allowing these kids to be pioneers of the world in this new space, I think it's so relevant. And at the same time, most of these kids come from like informal settlements, from humble beginnings in the Western Cape. Have you noticed any challenges with regards to getting these kids to really buy into this concept? Maybe things like infrastructure, travel, anything like that you're really struggling with when you're getting these kids to buy into this idea?
Yes, definitely. I mean, the challenges are enormous for our kids. And then a simple thing like applying for a passport. Both parents have to be present. They might not be able to take the day off to go and apply for that passport. Resources that they don't have, that Saki Kamva has to fundraise and supply those resources. But the teams also do their own fundraising as well. Very exciting things that they've done. They do outreach as well to ensure that more students are exposed to to technology and STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. But the challenges that we faced, mostly resources, the interest is there. It's about creating the opportunity, and that is what Sakikamba does.
And the opportunities you're creating are incredible. I mean, you've got this laboratory called Stream Laboratory, which sounds really exciting. What's going on here exactly?
Well, it's an interactive. We've got 9 of these laboratories at various schools. One is independent at Lanseria Airport, but it is an interactive science center. So it consists of a robotics laboratory. We have aviation classes where they do their private pilot license at Cape Academy. And then there is a 3D or a design studio, as well at Air Traffic Control Tower. And at Cape Academy, we've got an aeroplane and 3 flight simulators that they can actually sit and fly the flight simulator.
I want to go back to school. Sign me up. I love this. Well, Fatima, thank you for coming through. And it doesn't stop here, Mzansi. Don't go anywhere because we've heard about it. We're getting amped, hyped, and excited. But the team are standing by right now. They are ready to show off. It's show and tell like you can't imagine. Show and tell from the future. It's arrived here for you, Mzansi, and you get a first chance to see it all. So don't go anywhere. This excitement's going to continue.
Oh, loads of excitement on your Feel Good Breakfast show, including making another dad and daughter a winner.
Introducing new Panado Pediatric Syrup 5ml sachets. They're really convenient to pack and easy to use, so you're always prepared for pain and fever, anytime, anywhere.
I hope you enjoyed celebrating Father's Day yesterday with your dad and dad figures, because dad teaches us a lot of things, but the real lesson is always love. Now nominate your amazing dad for a special dose of care, and they could stand the chance to win 2,000 Rand. Now we are very excited to announce our next winner. Can I get a drum roll, please? And we can say congratulations to Abel Tubane, who is our lucky winner. And Abel was nominated by his daughter, Tebogo, who said this: he's there. He helps around the house, supports me, and he loves me. What's most important is that he treats my mother well. He can't be a good dad if he treats his wife badly. By showing our mom love, he shows us love. That's what makes him the best dad ever. Hashtag Panado SA, hashtag a dose of care. Now we've got them both on the line. Tebogo, good morning.
Good morning, Zoe.
Oh, I love your energy. Hello, good morning to you. And what a heartwarming nomination you did for your dad. Now, Tebogo, tell me about your special relationship that you have with your dad.
My dad and I, we're not your typical father and daughter. We are friends. We laugh together. But there's also those ups and downs where we butt heads, but it's smooth going. We laugh. He guides me. He's my supporter. He's literally my lover.
Oh, I love that. Abel, good morning. Are you on the line as well?
Yes, I'm on the line, ma'am.
Oh, doesn't that just warm your heart and bring a smile to your face to hear what your beautiful daughter had to say about you? You guys are besties. And congratulations. That dose of care from Panado, it is yours thanks to your daughter. What does your daughter mean to you, Abel?
My daughter means a lot to me. She's wise, intelligent, but also shy.
Aww. I think we all have a little bit of shyness within us. Tebogo, one more question. If you could share one quick favorite memory of you and your dad, what would you share with us?
When I was young, he used to take me on car rides, and it would be just us and the music in the background, singing along. I miss those times too.
Oh, I love that. Like little road trips, having your special songs and playlists. I love that. And Abel, some final words from you. Perhaps you have a special message you would love to share to your daughter?
My message to my daughter is for me to say to her, keep up, my daughter, keep up doing all the good things you were always doing for us, and keep on being wise.
Oh, that is so special. Well, congratulations, Dad. That 2,000 Rand is on its way to you, thanks to Panado and your daughter's beautiful nomination. And may we have celebrated Father's Day yesterday, but we believe that every day is an opportunity to share a dose of care with your dad.
Being a parent can be challenging, but stepping out is when things get real complicated. That's why new Panado Pediatric Syrup 5ml sachets are here to make the job easier. They're really convenient to pack and easy to use, so you're always prepared for pain and fever, anytime, anywhere. Panado, a dose of care.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Back it is your feel-good breakfast show. It's Expresso on S3. And yes, we've had a long weekend, but it's time to still hit pause and refill our coffee cups.
It's time to hit pause with Jacobs.
Oh, we love getting our coffee, especially if G-Man is in the kitchen and he's busy making them, getting it ready for us. And
Thank you. Yep. We have got the dark roast today. We are loving our Jacobs Barista editions. We obviously love the flavor profile, but we want it darker, we want it more flavorful, so we've gone with a level 10 here. The dark roast is absolutely delicious. A drop of milk for Zozo, and Ryle and I are going to go all in with a beautiful coffee.
Amazing.
How do you generally like your coffee?
I do like it with a little bit of milk.
Okay.
I haven't been able to master drinking black coffee. I struggle with that.
It's an intense amount of flavor if you're not used to it, but at the same time, if your corn is here like this, man, you crave it every day.
Oh,
Thank
there we
you.
go.
Thank you, kind sir.
How much coffee do you think we've drunk in the last week?
I think you definitely PB'd.
Yeah, I have. I don't want to sound like I'm complaining in any way. When the coffee is this good, we let it flow. But if you're feeling that the day is getting a little bit hectic, a little intense, let's press pause right now. It's absolutely vital that we press pause in our busy lives and find some calm in the eye of the storm. But I think it's actually equally important to remember to spend a bit of time playing as well. Maybe this has become really clear to me because I've got kids. So today, I want us to think about how we can bring some more fun and joy into our lives. And I've got the guy sat beside me who's kind of made it your life path, really, your calling to look for that joy, but not just instant gratification kind of joy. There's something else about what you are striving for.
Yeah, man.
So how do you play, my brother? Because it looks like you spend a lot of time playing.
I do. I try with every space and medium that I find myself in to play, because I find that when you are competent enough, everything around you is a playground. An ocean, a mountain, a studio like this. You can give your energy, you can serve, and you can play. And I think when you find moments to play and have fun, those are the things that stimulate you, that fill up your cup, that allow that good stuff to overflow thereafter. So we should chase the things we love and stimulate us. More, play, play, play. Yes, please.
Yeah, now I can see it with my kids, and they've given me the opportunity to just play every day, whether it's playing Burger Shop, whether it's playing Snakes with us. But to live in that imagination space is so magical because it plants the seed that there could be things that we aren't doing that we should. So
Definitely.
What would you like to do? What experience is awaiting you? How would you like to have more fun?
Oh, you know what? I've said this before, and I'll say that again. I think as grown-ups, you get so stuck in your routine. I need freedom. That's what I crave. My lifestyle, I crave freedom in my lifestyle in order to allow me to play. And I know that that's generally when I need to take a break, is when I feel too structured. There's no wiggle room for spontaneity. And that's what I sometimes feel like I miss. And I think there's a lot of people that also find themselves in a bit of a rut because you don't have room for spontaneity to have fun.
I feel you.
And you kind of need that breathing room to be able to survive the more intense and hectic times. How have you been able to make that a priority? Because it feels like that's where you start, bro. It kind of feels like everything else falls in line behind that.
It really is hard because, like Zoe's just mentioned, life gets in the way. So you need to actively make a decision to find the time, make the time, schedule the time, and prioritize the time. If you don't choose that, it's never going to happen. It's not going to land on your lap. It's just not going to be. So you need to go out and chase those dreams, the passions, everything else you want.
And can I add to that? So this is something I've done, and now it's quite nice that collectively as a couple we're doing it, is once a month we choose a weekend that becomes our no weekend. So any birthday invitation, any party that comes along, we have to say, sorry, we're unavailable.
That's powerful.
And it was so nice to choose on Saturday. We're like, oh, let's go do this, because we finally had a free day to just decide, are we going to watch a movie, or we're actually just going to go to a market?
I want to be free.
And look, she brought the other half around the studio for a bit of a vetting. Well, not that she needed our approval, but you done good, girl. You done good, girl. We can all have a lot of fun in this space. We love the fact that we can make it a priority. Even if you just write it in your diary tomorrow, have fun from this time to this time, whatever that looks like. Just do it. Try something new, be a little bit silly. I would suggest get moving. Just move your body. That generally leads to joy. Just do more of the thing that makes you happy. But for right now, we can just sip on a coffee and hit pause and start this Monday morning feeling good.
Say no more.
With Jacob's Barista Editions, every bean, every roast, every cup is in a class of its own. Jacob's Barista quality in whole beans and new aluminium capsules in 3 exciting flavors. Try now.
Yes, Mzadzi, welcome back to it. We're getting straight into the future of things. And Fatima has she's been growing minds of the youth with the love of robots. You've heard about it earlier. She was diving into engineering and a little bit of aviation. And this year, the work of the learners from the Cape Academy of Mathematics, Science and Technology pays off as they are yet to set off to the United States for their first international competition. So here with us, we have some of the young geniuses, yes, and pay attention. You want to invest in these minds right now because they are going places and showing exactly what they are made of. So we've got the crew out here. I've got Jess right next to me. Jess is over here. I want to ask you firstly, hi, everybody. How are we doing? And can you introduce this incredible team that you have beside you? Who are we looking at, and what are their specialties?
So
Maybe start with you, actually. Sorry.
So as you said, my name is Jess. I am the captain of the team Team Estrovo, and to my right we have Hadia, who is our safety captain, coding, and our strategist.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Next to her we have Keegan, who's our engineer and our other strategist, and behind me we have Luke, who is our other engineer.
I feel like you could take over the world with this team, man. Bright minds, young minds, but you've done something crazy. being looked after by Fatima, obviously, but tell me what is going on here? What am I looking at? How long did this take to make? Where do we start with this entire thing? Because I want to dive straight into it. So let's start with this. What is this?
So in front of us here, we have our robot, which is known as Artemis.
Artemis?
Yes.
All right, okay.
And this was started being built in late or early December, and it was finished in early February, and then from there we went to our national competition, which was up in Joburg, which we placed 3rd overall. And we won some awards, which was the Connect Award, which is basically an award awarded to the team that the judges feel that the team is connected to the STEM community. And the way we can achieve this is through outreaches, which Luke will talk more about later. And then we also won an Innovate Award, which is basically the award that the judges feel that that a team's robot is unique and is innovative and has some kind of that hasn't been seen before.
All right.
And so currently we are sitting with 14 members in our team, all of which are going to the Cape, not to the Cape, to the States.
The States,
basically. And so what this robot basically has to do is it just has to grab those red cones and place them onto these yellow pillars, which was known as junctions. We'll give a demo later on.
Okay.
And everything about this has to be built and coded by us.
Wow, okay, so we don't have a lot of time, so let's try to get straight into the action here, and maybe we can talk while you're doing that. So I've seen what it does. Can we see a demo? Is it possible to do that? And I believe, Adia, you were involved in the coding of this. So everybody had like a special part to play in assembling this, putting this together. Adia, are you gonna, whoa, okay, hang on, something serious is going down here. She's got the safety mask on. Okay, so what are you doing right now?
So this is a safety shield that each of us have to wear, which is a part of the competition. You have to wear safety gear just in case something happens.
Okay, nice. Safety first. I like that. Right, and then I see my man's over here has got some crazy device. What is that? Is that like the controller or something?
Yes.
Nice.
This is known as a drive hub, which is connected wirelessly to the robot, which allows us to control it.
Whoa, okay. And you're both controlling it together, right? So there's a lot going on in this robot. Show and tell, let it commence. Let's see what this robot can do. So the goal is apparently to take those cones, and you're saying you've got to get them on top of this pole. Wow, so this thing can do your chores. Amazing. We all need one of these. Well, let's see if it works. You guys ready? Do you need to start it up or anything?
Yeah.
All right, looks like it's live. Whoop. Whoa. And it looks like it's got 6... Is it 6 wheels? Yes?
Yes, in total it has 6 wheels. Only 4 of them actually drive. The 2 in the front are there to add stability to the robot, so that when its arm is lifting up and driving there, it doesn't tip forward.
So it's like a counterbalance almost in a sense. And I must say, it honestly feels like I'm watching something on Mars right now. This is like a Mars rover looking type of machine. This is definitely what people like NASA and those crazy companies would essentially use in the real world, right? This is crazy.
So what you see in the front of the robot is known as a telescopic slider, and it basically is a linear movement system that uses a pulley system to drive it, and the robot has a gripper on the front of it that's constructed from an old spatula that we stole from one of our parents' kitchens. And it works really well to grip onto the cones. It can grip onto many other objects like balls and blocks. It's just whatever can fit into its grips that it can pick up and lift.
Insane, yeah.
And at the back of the robot, you can kind of see into the robot.
Yes.
And there's this chain mechanism that is used to operate the robots, which allows the robot to be much faster. Right now, we have the robot speed dialed back a lot.
Woo, nice.
And, yeah.
That is incredible. So you mentioned just one last thing about the fact that you're involved in the community too. So you're not just showing off your skills and your genius, but you're sharing that energy, and you're serving the community too. Luke, I believe you were going to mention something about that just before we go. Tell me more about the incredible work you're doing, because there is so much to talk about. What's the community involvement about?
Well, we've been to many schools. Most of us have been to our childhood schools to inspire them. We've inspired over, I think, 300 people. Was it?
3,000.
Nice. 3,000 people.
Okay.
And
Brilliant.
we have started 2 teams that already, I think, are going to the US, which is High Voltage and Galactic Einsteins. And I think we're starting 2 more new teams for this next season.
Absolutely incredible. This is a team that I see is going places. Thank you all so much for taking part in this, for representing South Africa, and I wish you nothing but the best of luck. Fatima, your work has been incredible. I can see you doing incredible stuff. So I think we should put our hands together. This is amazing stuff. Well done, guys. A big Mzansi round of applause. Good luck in the States. You guys are incredible, and we're wishing you nothing but the best of luck. Here's to the future. Nice job. I love it. Whew.
Now you can generously give a voice to Storytime. Visit our library of homegrown audio stories at cadbury.co.za.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, yes, it's time to serve you once again with the one and only Baz in the building. It might have been a long weekend, but that just means that there was more time to get into the world of entertainment. So let's recap what may have been missed this past weekend. And of course, the one and only Sebastian Newman is here, our digital content producer, with all the things entertainment know.
Baz, I feel like I opened my phone. I had a bit of a phone detox this weekend, but I opened it up yesterday and 4 people announced that they were pregnant. It's baby season.
It's baby season. So Kourtney Kardashian, obviously biggest news of the weekend, went to a Blink-182 concert and announced with a sign, Travis, I'm pregnant. Obviously, you could see she was pregnant, though, if you look really closely at the video. But on the new season of the Kardashians, they had a bit of fertility issues, so they were sharing it on the season. And so it's like just a little very cute moment that they finally bring. She obviously has kids with Scott Disick. He's got his own kids, but this is their first baby.
Oh, I think amongst the two, she's got 3, he's got 3, so this is baby number 7.
Wow, cute.
Wow.
Yeah.
She's creating her own Kardashian. She's creating her own Kardashian.
I remember, I think in previous seasons, and if you look at all the sisters, they love big families. They loved growing up with so many siblings. They want that for their kids. So.
Somebody was saying on the radio this morning, Like, how many kids do they have now? Like, there's just so many babies in that family.
Show, Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Is that the new show?
Yeah, with the kids.
Interesting. Let's move over to Lady Jaja.
Yes, so
What's she
lady,
been up to?
she's been very quiet, but she went on Instagram lately, on the weekend, and she was like, hey guys, let me just give you an update about my life. Sorry that I'm so private, because she's not really private. She shares with her little monsters everything about her life, but she's like, I just needed to take this time to just focus on myself, and it's been so spiritually healing for her, and healing her heart, mind, and body, full eat, pray, love kind of moment.
Okay.
But she's teasing at an exciting project coming. She's relaunched her makeup brand. So she's just like, guys, I just need to take a seat, man. Things have been a bit rough. And I think there's a call for, like, you see a lot of the celebrities, just like a sense of normality and just like, chill.
Breaking away from that picture-perfect life, I love how Lady Gaga is scaling it back. I mean, she was known for her costume.
Exactly.
And now she's being vulnerable and actually showing a more genuine side
And
to
I
her.
think also she's focusing more on her movies and things and her acting career than her music. Because
I was going to ask you.
When last did we ever?
What do you think would be that next project? Do you think it'd be an album or a big
Maybe an album, because we haven't heard a young
That's the
track
thing.
from
Maybe
that
a
one.
baby. I feel like everyone's having a baby.
Just switch it all up. It could be. Definitely is the trend right now. But as it doesn't stop there, of course, we're going from Jaja to the Grammys.
So the Grammys came through and they were like, you know what, guys? It's time for some change. It's time for some new categories in the Grammys. So there's 3 new categories. And this came after there was a slump in the ratings at the last Grammys. So now the 3 new categories are Best Alternative Jazz Album, Best African Music Performance, and Best Pop Dance Album. They also came through and said there will be no awards given to any AI-generated music because it's AI so big at the moment.
Going into,
So only human creators will be awarded.
I love
this
that.
time.
I love that.
But you know, the African music is taking over the world, and I'm so glad that they've now got a whole category at the biggest night in music.
I'd like to see them not only take over the South African and African category, but the general category too.
100%.
I don't think they should be put in a box at all. I think the talent is above and beyond.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, let's bring it back to some local news. That was the international. Let's pay homage to our local stars.
So, AKA, we know that just before he passed, he was busy on his album, working on his album Mass Country, which was released after he passed. And his album reached platinum status and some gold status. So his mom and family was given the plaques by Sony Music, and Fifth Season was a music creative agency. But just before he passed, he also posted a video where he told us what the album is about. So just take a look at that.
Nice.
That is South A. Masses. And listen, bro, we running music right now.
Yeah, 100%.
If you popping in South A, you pop it.
100%.
Sure.
And he was saying just basically, the video goes on to say that this album is for the people. It's called Mass Country, it's for the country, and everyone's loving it.
Like a gift to the whole world. I love that. And thank you so much. His energy still lives on in so many of us. Bless his soul. And again, all the condolences go out to everybody that was affected by that. But man, I think his soul and his energy is going to echo for such a long time. Indeed. And I'm so grateful for that we get to still celebrate that. So Bear's coming through with some goodies in the entertainment world. Thank you very much. My work is done. Well, that's Bear's obviously when it comes to all things latest when it comes to entertainment. He'll be back with some more in the week. So let's catch up with him. And also, let's catch up with a new superstar in the building. Let's go.
Yeah, and a potential Grammy Award winner. Nice to hear that kind of news. Joining us is award-winning already and talented electric Afro jazz performer and saxophonist, Zwile. We love having you here, my friend. Thank you so much for joining us. It feels like creatively you could go in any direction. Writer, you can obviously, the voice is there, you can play multiple instruments. Does it all come from the same place? When you create, is it from the heart? Is it from the head? Does it come from a note? Where does the creative process begin for you, bro?
Well, it comes from everywhere. It comes from the surroundings. It comes from what I hear, what I think. So, yeah, feelings and everything. But mainly it's just all about what's around me and what's happening around me.
You feed off that energy, and you're going to be able to do that right now with the coolest track. It is Tiny Groove by Zwile. Take it away. Wow! Thank you. Wow! I love the way you're playing your own voice, dude. You're literally like playing the chords of your own voice. I love that. You were just playing nicely there, and then he came and challenged you with a saxophone. I'm like, you're not going to take that. You challenged him, you challenged... That was amazing. That was about 9 different grooves in one. Not AI created. These are real people, baby. One more performance coming your way, but can we give them a massive round of applause? We'll see you on the other side of this. Well done, Zwilling! You know, that was lekker, baby.
Do it like this. Do it like get it, move it, own it. Do it like this.
Bespoke.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, welcome back. It is your Feel Good Breakfast show, giving you a behind the scenes of a behind the scenes of a behind the scenes look. But let's quickly catch up on those morning headlines. Here's Ryle.
Yes, you've just arrived on the scene and it's just gone on the hour, so it's time to start off with national headlines. Now, the Solplaatjie municipality in Kimberley has budgeted 1.1 billion rand for the next 5 years to renovate infrastructure. Now, the municipality has problems with interruptions in water flow, sewage spills, and leaks from water supply pipes. And the mayor, Kagiso Sonyani, says the funding from the treasury will also be used to improve the quality of water and solve the current water crisis. Now, Sonyani says some of the municipality's infrastructure is 60 years old. Well, sticking with national headlines right now, Transport Department has a backlog of some 350,000 driver's license cards to tackle after the machine which produces them broke down, but is now back in full production. Now, the department spokesperson Colin Msibi said yesterday this was after the department's statement last month informing the public that the machine was taken out of production for 3 weeks to replace a broken part identified during routine maintenance. Now, the machine has printed an average of 2,850,000 cards per annum in the past 2 financial years. Well, from our national news headlines, let's head over to international news. And Ugandan authorities have confirmed the death of 40 people, including many scholars, during a terrorist attack on the Lubiri secondary school in the west of the country. Now, this was near the border of the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Now, 5 attackers with machetes carried out the attack, and they are believed to be part of the Allied Democratic Force, which have ties with the Islamic State. Now, many pupils' condition is critical, and 6 female scholars were allegedly kidnapped, and the Ugandan army has launched a search for the kidnapped children. Well, next up in international headlines, China's Foreign Affairs Minister Xing Gang has told his U.S. counterpart Antony Blinken that China is committed to building a stable and constructive relationship with the U.S. Now, he emphasized the importance of diplomacy and maintaining open channels of communication to reduce the risk of misperception. Now, the two top diplomats had talks during the highest level official U.S. visit to China in 5 years. Now, Blinken invited Xi to visit Washington, D.C. and to, quote, continue the discussions. And they agreed to reschedule a reciprocal visit at a mutually suitable time. Well, lastly, in our headlines, the 96th Comrades Marathon champion, Tete Dijana, received a hero's welcome from family, friends, and the community when he returned home after his magnificent victory in this year's uprun from Durban to Pietermaritzburg. Now, a special welcome ceremony was held for Dijana at Lonely Park outside Mahikeng, and 6 male runners from Northwest, where they were all at the ceremony. And they managed to make it among the top 10, and Adele Broderick came in second in the women's race. Now, the provincial government promised it would do more to ensure that the young talent of Northwest Province was developed. Well, leaning over to the sporting action, we're going to dive into that right now. That's all I have for you when it comes to the latest in the headlines. But G's got the last results for the sport. Let's check it out.
Thank you so much, Raul. Celebrations for some and heartache for others as we start with international football. Croatia missed out on their first international trophy after losing on penalties to Spain in the Nations League final yesterday. Dani Carvajal, he calmly chipped home the winning effort to seal a 5-4 victory on spot kicks. That was after Unai Simon had saved from Bruno Petrovic. And the contest in Rotterdam had finished goalless after extra time. And this means now it's Spain's first international trophy for 11 years since their victory in the Euros in 2012. But it also means that Spain become the second nation to win the World Cup, European Championship and Nations League. Of course, following in France's footsteps after they beat the Spanish side in 2021 in that Nations League final. Then we bring it back home, plenty to be excited about on the footballing front. Bafana head coach Hugo Broos didn't look like he was that excited or crack a smile, but made it clear that his team's 2-1 win against a very strong Moroccan outfit did make him very happy. So Bafana took a 2-0 lead inside 48 minutes. That was after a Moroccan own goal and then Sakela Lapas's strike. But Hakim Ziyech pulled one back on the hour mark. Now, South Africa currently top Group K with 7 points from 4 games, but in playing in a 3-team group, their qualification program is now complete, so well done. Bruce was insistent, though, that his team did put out a good performance, and his team gave him exactly that. Now we turn to a battle royale playing out in the UK. Australia's captain Pat Cummins starred with both bat and ball in hand as the Ashes holders had the better of a rain-marred third day in the first test against England, and it's charged. So the lower order batsmen, they made a useful 38, or he made a useful 38 in a total of 386. That left Australia just 7 runs behind on their first innings try. And then the fast bowler then dismissed Ben Duckett before England also lost their other opener, Zach Crawley, in a dramatic 20 minutes play between the rain showers. So England were 28 for 2 in their second innings, a lead of just 35 runs at stumps yesterday. Earlier, Usman Khawaja, he had top scored for the visitors with a knock of 141. Now, another milestone achieved for Max Verstappen as we turn to Formula One. He has now equaled Ayrton Senna's career total of 41 victories with a dominant win at the Canadian Grand Prix yesterday. The Dutchman's 6th triumph in 8 races this season now gives him a 69-point lead in the championship. And that was, incidentally, his 100th victory for the Red Bull team. So quite a big weekend. Aston Martin's Fernando Alonso, he passed Lewis Hamilton's Mercedes on track to win a battle for 3rd place, while Ferrari's Charles Leclerc, he recovered from qualifying 11th to take a very credible 4th place and get the points as well. And that's a wrap of your sport for this beautiful Monday morning. Thanks to Kevin Lorena again for chatting to us earlier. Right now, hopefully the sport on the road's not looking too bad. So he's got the latest on the traffic front.
Thank you, Graham. Let's take another look at the roads in Cape Town, Bellville. There's some congestion on the N1 inbound. It's at Yep de Jager, no delays. If you're in the city centre in Cape Town, there's traffic lights that are out at the elevated freeway. There's also heavy traffic in and around the area, so allow for more travel time. And in the Western Cape, there is flooding and very slippery roads. Please be careful on the roads and maintain a safe following distance. Well, that's a look at your roads. Let's take a final look at your weather. And Cape Townians, brace yourself. A cold front moved into the Western Cape last night, accompanied by rain and strong winds. It will also affect the Northern Cape, spreading to the Eastern Cape, and the SA Weather Service have issued an orange level 5 warning for damaging interior winds, resulting in damage, in fact, to settlements in coastal towns from Cape Town to Plettenberg Bay, and for high waves and winds, resulting in difficulty in navigation at sea between Alexander Bay and Plettenberg Bay. A yellow level 4 warning was issued for disruptive rain, resulting in flooding of roads and settlements in the northwestern parts of the Overberg districts, accompanied by damaging winds, resulting in transport routes being affected. And lastly, extremely high fire danger conditions are expected over the northeastern parts of the Northern Cape, the extreme west and northwest, and the eastern parts of the Free State. Well, that's an update on your news. Let's take a final look at your temperatures for your Monday. If you're in Polokwane, a low of 8 and a high of 26 can be expected. Mpumbela, 13:31. Pretoria, 6 with a high of 23. Johannesburg, 3 with a high of 22. A sunny day for Mahikeng, 2 with a high of 25. Cloudsthorpe, 2 reaching a high of 24. If you're in Kimberley, -1 is your low, 19 your high. Bloemfontein, -2 with a high of 19. If you're in Richards Bay, 17 is your low, 30 your high. Pietermaritzburg, 8:28. Durban, 17 with a high of 28. If you're in Mthatha, a sunny day with a low of 8, a high of 24 can be expected. East London, 10 with a high of 23. Cradock, 0 reaching a high of 18. Gqeberha, some rain with a low of 9, a high of 19. George, 8 reaching a high of 15. Cape Town, expect rain, 8 is your low, 15 your high. Worcester, rainy conditions with a high of 11 for today. Sutherland, rain with a low of -1 and a high of 5 degrees Celsius for today. And if you're in Uppington, a low of 3 and a high of 18 can be expected. Well, that's a look at your temperatures. Let's take a final look at your sunrise views. We're heading over to KZN, where Laurel from The Bluff snapped this photo from her apartment overlooking the city, loving the pink look of the sky. Lindo Kuhle in KZN sharing this photo of the sun rising above the homes. It looks like it's all in KZN this morning because Desiree from Pietermaritzburg sent through this beautiful photograph. Look at those pinks and purples in the sky. And Johan is enjoying a holiday in Switzerland and sent through this incredible video. Just look at those greenery that you see on your screen right now. Johan, enjoy your holiday and thank you for the beautiful scenery, and a thank you to you for your sunrise views. Well, please continue to share with us. We would love to see where you spend your mornings. You can send us a WhatsApp on 063 408 8863.
Thank you so much, Zoe, for that. And thank you, Mzansi, for sending those incredible pictures and always changing the atmosphere here in the studio. But we're going to change the atmosphere right now. It's the middle of the year. It's time to take a look within. We're talking about introspection. I don't know if that's even a thing that you are aware of, but we're going to find out right now why it's so important, how we can implement it, and of course, how we can tackle the rest of this incredible day. You ready for it, Mzansi? Booyah! I certainly am. Don't go anywhere.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. It is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and you're just in time because we're going to take a look at introspection. It is a way to get up close and personal with ourselves. Now, but how can you help with reassessing the goals that you've set for yourself at the start of this year? Now, registered counsellor Shanaas Moos is with us, and she's here to help guide us through it. Shanaas, it's so great to have you here.
Thank you. Morning. I'm well, thanks, Real.
It's really good to have you here, always knowing that I'm going to be educated or something's going to shift in my mind. So let's get into it right now. Why is introspection so important when it comes to not only just looking at yourself, but also setting your goals?
Yeah, introspection is that form of analysis or looking inward. You know, we can't change or do anything with our life by looking outward. So introspection is about what within me needs to change to facilitate change on the outside. So that's the way we do introspection, but most people don't really bother because they're too busy.
But it is easier said than done, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Hopefully you can help us with that. What are the types of questions, other than what must I do internally to have external results? What type of questions can we ask ourselves to help us on this endeavor that we are going through?
Yeah, the questions are like, am I happy where I am? You know, is this something that I always plan to do? Is this a relationship I want to be in? Is this the job I want to be in? So we're reflecting on what is going on now, and did we consciously choose the actions that took us to that point? So it's the when did I decide this, or did I decide this? How would I like to change it, or if I would like to change it? So it's a lot of those kinds of questions which most people don't often take the time. You can think about it, speak out loud, or you can journal about it if you're a journaler.
Yeah. Okay. Look, I know there's no specific time like now's the best time to start, because I think now is always the best time to start. But when we take into account the fact that we're in the middle of the year, this would be a great time to re-look at some of those goals, right? So you're mentioning now that the way in which we do that, we've got to ask ourselves those questions. How else can we kind of implement this change right now? Because I think a lot of us are maybe looking at this half of the year, how it's flown by, and realized, whoa, I need to make some changes. I want to maybe do better than what I've actually done in this first year. Let's step it up.
Yeah, but you know what? It depends on how did you set those goals in the first place. So if you use like the SMART method, you know, which is where your goal is specific, it's measurable, right? It's achievable or attainable, right? And it's relevant to your own life. And then there was time bound. So how can you assess a goal that you didn't set in a time-specific way? So if you haven't set your goals in a way that makes sense to your life, but goals without value knowledge is like, you know, me trying to drive a truck with my little license of a normal, whatever code, whatever that is. I don't have that. I can drive my car, I can't drive a truck. So when you set goals, what are your values, personal and professional? That's the most important element in setting goals. And a lot of people, when they get to therapy, I have to do a values exercise because they don't know. There's this theory in your head, I'd like to live by these values, but hello, there's the reality. And that's where you need to make the two come closer together.
Nice, I like that. I love that answer, and this is something that we're going to carry on chatting about in just a second. So we're talking about introspection, looking within, and especially with this time of the year. It's halfway through the year already. We might be wanting to change some of those goals, so you definitely want to stick around for that, because we're going to assist everybody in realigning and achieving, as well as slaying. So don't go anywhere. We'll carry on with that.
Now, sometimes before we look forward, we need to look back to inform what that future plan is. And a big part of the human experience, certainly in our world, is storytelling and sharing unique memories, experiences, and lessons learned. As humans, we know there are certain settings that ignite our desire to share stories, like sitting around a fire, sharing some Omar rusks with our friends and family. Well, today, imagine the fire is here. Just imagine I've invited our team to bring a personal item that tells a story about who they are, and I cannot wait for this. Yes, we are going to need some Omar rusks, so I'm hoping that's going to be Zoe's thing that she brings to tell a story about herself. But this was such a lovely exercise to go through. So we've each, I brought a little something along, and I was wondering to myself, within your kind of crazy life cycle of all these amazing things, what really stands out to you as the big achievements or those moments, or what that totem would be? So I'm going to ask you to whip out your item.
It's something I'm always wearing, so I kind of just got to like take it off quick. Just.
Just.
Yep. All right,
and here we go.
Here we are. Pop, pop, pop.
Oh, absolutely.
So, dude, how crazy is this? This right here is my Speedo.
Oh, have a seat.
So we're going to be talking about this in just a second. Before we do, bring it
Wait
on.
for me. Wait for me. I want to be part of this conversation.
All right, come in here. We've got a story to tell. G's got his.
You guys are starting without me.
We just did a little.
We just needed a moment of theatre. So, thank you. I hope this isn't the thing you've brought.
No. I brought my own.
Okay, well done. No, first of all, thank you for bringing the rust.
So we've all got
Really
our
love
stuff
it.
now.
Yes.
I love it. So let's start with ladies first. So what have you brought along today?
Raul is most excited to start. Okay, so I brought along a beautiful charm bracelet that really means the world to me.
Gorgeous.
So I was an au pair in America during my gap year after high school, and this was the gift my host family gave me. So at the back of the American flag, it says, "We love you, Zoe," and behind the Ohio flag, the state in which I was an au pair, they engraved the kids' names. And then these were all my favorite things I used to love and do with the kids. So the snowman was my first time living in a snowy environment. The cupcakes, because I always baked cupcakes and cookies with the kids. Pumpkin Halloween was my first experience. Thanksgiving was the little turkey, and then obviously the little heart because they love me. I love traveling to Washington, D.C., so that's the Capitol building, and New York, which is the Lady Liberty.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
So it's really special. Very, but I can't wear it on the show because it jingles a lot.
Makes
Makes
too much
too
noise. Well,
much
you can wear it for
noise.
one shot. We'll give
I'll
you
wear
like
it for
one
this.
opportunity. That's beautiful, and it tells
And so
such a
thoughtful.
story. What a thoughtful gift. I love that.
I love that. Yeah.
Oh, the stories the Speedo could tell, my friend.
Man, this Speedo has been through it all, but I just had to go through the theatrics of that because I'm always ready. The Speedo is from 2014. It was one of the first huge accolades that I achieved in my life. I became the fastest man on sand in 2014. I achieved a double gold in France. It was a huge international competition. But the Speedo actually represents more than just achieving these goals that I had as a kid all my life. The Speedo is representative of you being yourself to the world. You can't hide.
Yeah.
You've just got this
Literally.
Speedo. You've got nothing else to hide from. You are making yourself vulnerable in one of the most demanding, one of the most nerve-wracking and overwhelming environments that you can be in. This moment taught me how to deal with life, how to deal with everything that I've done up until that point in time. It unlocked the ability for me to bear myself, make myself vulnerable to the world, showcase that, and be proud in that moment. And that was my power. That is my power, and the Speedo constantly represents that. Not to hide away from anything and just represent yourself and be you in that moment.
You know, that's my adage, bro. Never hide from the light, bro. Never hide, because that can be more terrifying than the darkness sometimes.
100%.
That is profound, bro. I'm so proud of you, bro.
Thank you,
I'm
dude.
so proud of you for everything that you've done, dude. You don't understand.
What do you got, bro?
So I've brought a watch, okay? And it's an Omega constellation that is very old. And it was given to me via my mom. It was my grandfather's watch. And he was around up until I was about, I think, 10 or 11 years old. He eventually passed away, but he was the kind of chief male kind of totem for me in my developmental ages. Now, of course, I got married last year, and it was heartbreaking to me that he obviously couldn't be there. And most of my family couldn't be there because of the reality of the world at that time. So I took this watch as a keepsake to have with me because it fit the suit, which was too tight to have a big watch, and it was just sleek, and I thought, now I can have my grandfather there with me. Now, the crazy thing is, I don't know how close up you can get to that watch, so I've only ever touched this to take it out to have it appraised to see if I could get it fixed, and I was told it would cost too much to fix it, more than it's worth. Just keep it as a keepsake. I've never touched it beyond that, okay? Now, I got married on the 26th of May at 12:15 in the afternoon. And the crazy thing is, I realized on that day, just have a look there, what date and what time is set on that watch, bro?
Are you seeing that?
That is insane.
26th, what on earth?
And it's literally down to the
I don't know if you guys can zoom in and see this, but this is...
So I don't know what kind of message is being sent in a moment like that, but in terms of the validation and the love that I needed to feel in that moment and the connectedness to my family, and I've now realized that them being apart from me in that moment meant that they could be with other people. People who are so special to me were able to share this moment on a different level, but in the heart of this crazy. And that wedding was the first step for me coming out of COVID and that insanity that we went through. This was just like, okay, I'm here with you. I've got your back. So it was absolutely amazing, man. I know. So, and that's just one item. Imagine, that's one totem that means all this to me. So thank you so much for going through
That
this
was so
process.
special.
really cool, yeah.
I'm here for the signs. I'm here for stories like that. It really, really means so much. Now, it is also your turn to share your story with us. So if you could pick just one item that tells a story about who you are, what would it be, and tell us why. And also tell us on the Expresso Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram pages using that hashtag #MoreThanARusk. Now, one lucky person will stand the chance to win an Oma Rusks hamper plus 2,000 Rand in cash. There are T's and C's that can be found on our website. That's expressoshow.com. Good luck.
You got to make us cry with this one. Nice job, Rusk. It's good.
There is more in every dip with Oma Rusks.
Maybe it was while we were talking or something, I don't know.
Sorry. Okay, Elena, I have no idea then. I personally missed that. It's my bad. Apologies.
Okay,
Look, we might have been focused on...
Do you want you joining us for this conversation?
Sorry about the Speedo. The apprentice is here. How you, bro?
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, Mzansi, welcome back, your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and also welcome to the middle of the year. Yes, it is here, and we're going to continue our conversation with our registered counsellor, Shanaz Moose, as well as fitness expert, Seb Prentice. And we're talking all about dealing with failed goals and knowing when to change your goals. And right now is the perfect time for it, halfway through the year.
Halfway through the year. Shanaz, we all set goals. We don't reach them. We fail. But I always believe there's a lesson to be learned.
Yeah.
What can we learn from a goal that we perhaps failed, that we've set for ourselves?
Well, the first thing we learn is about flexibility, adaptability, resilience, and also how can I do it better, or what can I change? We have to focus on the gift, like the lesson, because that's what the failure gives you. It gives you that way forward.
I like that, the gift within it. And that's so well said. Seb, welcome to the couch. It's always great having you here. Someone that I love in terms of your meshing of the physical with that mental. And you do that so well. You work with clients as well, trying to assist them in their goals. What do you think is the quintessential part of changing those goals, of implementing change and helping your clients to achieve that? What do you think is really important in that process?
I think a big part that was touched on earlier was introspection.
Yeah.
I think knowing yourself and knowing what's important to you and staying along that path is very important. And then I think breaking that down and making it achievable also, what was mentioned earlier. So taking one step at a time. If you have a certain goal that seems quite daunting, break it down to simple steps. Make it manageable, because it's very easy to get overwhelmed with goals.
Yes.
And also, when you're feeling inspired, you want to set a lofty goal, and it's like, oh, this sounds amazing. Let me go for this, which is great. But
how do you
break it down?
Yeah.
Break it down into little steps.
So the question is not to maybe necessarily limit that goal. It's to really find and describe the pathway to how you're going to get there. Is that right?
Exactly. I think micro goals are very important.
Okay.
So little goals that fall under that main goal that you set for yourself.
Nice.
Now, I know that, often by setting those big goals, we're setting ourselves up for failure. So can you perhaps give us like a practical way of how someone can set those micro goals?
Sure, I think, firstly, I think just the perspective on failure, it's not always a bad thing. I think it's actually a gift in many ways, and that's a big perspective shift that people can make. So it immediately takes the pressure off. But in terms of setting those micro goals, it's okay, what are the constituent parts that build into this main thing? So if I want to achieve a certain result on a test or something, okay, what are the various little subjects or little focal points that I need to master or learn to feed into that final assessment kind of a thing? Yeah.
So is this something that I could maybe build on from? And if I'm in a position where I'm trying to make this decision of, do I carry on with this goal? Do I keep pushing? Or is it time to take a reality check and maybe deviate or change that plan or that goal? Is this something we'd use as an indicator for that? Or when do we know that it's the time to either carry on persisting with the goal or move on? Maybe I can ask this from both of you, because you might have different perspectives on this.
Okay, from the mental health part, I think that when not achieving your goals starts to affect your life, so all you can think about is how you're not there.
Okay.
You know, which then totally takes away from the mindfulness of what is there and what have you achieved. You'll feel like a failure all the time without getting the gift part. It affects your self-esteem because you feel like I'm never going to do it. And you'll be filled with self-doubt, which then seeps into the rest of your life. So you have to reflect on, okay, this is not working. There's too much negatives. A goal should make you jump up in the morning. Yes, yes, I'm getting closer. Yes. When you start feeling the no, or the oh no, or the dread in your stomach, or that, then you got to reflect and think, oh, this could not be what I need to do right now.
That makes sense from the mental side. Seb, you have anything to add to that, maybe from a holistic point of view,
I
perhaps?
do, yes. Coming back to the introspection, I think, so Angela Duckworth, who I'm sure you're familiar with, speaks about people who stick to things and achieve amazing things in life. She has this idea around having a goal hierarchy and what is your overriding gravity pull in life? What is your purpose? So mine would be to help improve people's lives using physical movement as my vessel. If it doesn't fall within that and I'm really struggling on this goal that's underneath that and it's not feeding into it, you can get rid of it. It's fine. If it's not serving that overriding goal, then you can discard it. And having the self-awareness to realize when you've deviated a bit from what the overriding purpose actually is, you can have that guilt-free kind of discard, you know?
Nice.
I love that. I really love that. And I love the wisdom both of you have been sharing with us today. Shanaz, maybe I can ask you this. When it comes to finding that balance between keeping yourself accountable for achieving your goal, but also that self-compassion when you don't reach your goal, what is the best way to really find that balance between, you know, cool, you need to pick yourself up, or actually, you know what, let's reassess?
Yeah, that self-accountability is something that is such a key element of self-awareness that a lot of people don't have. So when we try to live a more authentic life, accountability and self-compassion are two key elements.
Okay.
And most of us struggle with self-compassion because it's not how we were raised in that nurtured way. So I think that if you start to beat yourself up all the time mentally about not reaching your goals, that's not balance. There's this technique that I teach people, and I do it myself. What would I say to my best friend? And I would say something very different than what I would say to myself. I mean, oh my word, you've been trying, don't be so hard on yourself. So I put myself in that place of my best friend, and I'm giving myself the best advice because it's nurturing, it's comforting, and it's supportive. It lacks the other part. When you don't have that, it's judgmental, it's critical, and it's normally very, very hurtful and painful to receive it. So I'm doing it the other way around.
I love that. That's a great sort of exercise, I think, and it gives us the ability to have compassion, I think, and empathy. Seb, thank you so much for coming through and providing your wisdom, as always. Shanaz, it's always an absolute pleasure when you educate us, when you serve us, and you guys do that so brilliantly. So thank you for chasing and achieving your goals constantly through the show. I think it's a vessel for that. And for you, Mzansi, maybe this is a great reminder for you to take account of what's happening in your life, take accountability, and maybe have some time for introspection to see where we can make changes in our lives and improve those goals and send it to the top. Good luck to you.
Oh, buddy, let's apply some of that wisdom right now. Every now and then, a large amount of money enters our lives by surprise, and it's a great day. But what would you decide to do with those funds? Time to find out in another round of Would You Rather? Dun, dun, dun. So I've got the team back in studio. It looked like there was a lot of personal growth.
Oh, that was good.
A lot of introspection going on there.
Yes.
Yeah, phenomenal advice. Just so practical as well. So let's put it to good use right now. And we'll put this to you guys at home. So I'm going to create the scenario. You're going to give me your opinion. You win yourself 10 grand, 10,000 Rand in an awesome competition that you just didn't expect to win. Would you rather pay off debt and save the rest, or just use it all to pay off debt, or treat yourself to something big? So he's got a glint in her eye. Zoe?
I'm going to go for option B, treat myself to something big. I mean, it depends on the amount one. So in this scenario, it's 10,000 Rand. I've been dying to get myself new tires for my car.
Ooh.
So that's not something I would want to go into debt for. So this is like a little bit of a windfall. So I would spend that towards, that for me is a treat.
Yeah, but it's also an investment in your ride, which is cool, you know.
But that's how I would spend it. Yeah, I would treat myself to
I'm down
something
with that
practical.
logic.
Yeah.
I'm so tempted for B right now, but I'm going to make this personal to me. I have just laid out investments. I'm investing in, let's say, a property. I'm investing in so many things. I'm now in action mode. So for me, I just want to pay these debts off because that means I can climb that rank higher. So I've made those decisions. I've kind of spoiled myself by making myself invest in this, and now I've just got to deal with it and pay it off. And anything that adds to that, it's for me. So A is going to be a priority, and that's a personal reason right now.
Yeah, but that's your overarching magnetic pull. That's what's driving you forward. For me, very much in that same space. I'm realizing how much more I can do every time I tackle one debt or one pressure area. Oh, just emancipates, just opens us up. I love that. But let's hear what you, the really wise people, have had to say. We put it to you guys on our social medias, and let's hear from the peeps.
Well, Tasneem says life is short, so I would spend it and treat myself to something big, as I haven't been spoiled in a long time.
You go,
I feel
girl.
like all the girls were thinking alike here.
And you deserve that. You should do that for yourself.
Halfway through the year, you deserve it.
Inkosozana says A is my best option. She didn't give too much reason, but I'm here for it, okay?
Take your money seriously.
Rukaya says life is so unpredictable. You need to save in this day and age. Oh, so I think they say A. And then life is so unpredictable.
Yeah.
So, okay, we get that. Rukaya.
But A, life is unpredictable, I get that. Mojarara saying, I'll choose A, to save it for rainy days. Take your money seriously. Yeah, and I think people are grasping this notion that, yes, we do need debt in some instances, but it's still a cost. It's still an interest rate, and interest rates are incredibly high. So if you can tackle that, then you free yourself up to start tackling those bigger things. But that being said, if there is that thing that you know is going to motivate you to get up and work twice as hard tomorrow, that's going to carry you through the second half of the year, go and get yourself those new tires because you deserve it. Well, here's the deal, okay? Just because we want to give you this chance, Nedbank are actually going to give you the chance to win 10,000 Rand in cool, hard cash. But you've got to earn it. You've got to tell us what your favorite feature on the brand new My Goals account is. We've had a few chats about this incredible bouquet of accounts, and you can enter on the Expresso Facebook, Twitter pages using hashtag Take Your Money Seriously. But for all the terms and conditions, you can visit expressoshow.com. Good luck. Spend it wisely.
Mabel, check this. With a My Goals premium account, you get 12 free airport lounge visits.
12?
Yeah.
God, David, when are you busy planning your next getaway during office hours? Aman.
Hey, what's that?
This is Octifex, a new accessible platform to trade Forex on global markets.
Cool. What's the Forex?
It's short for foreign exchange, trading currencies.
Buy low, sell high. Score points, right?
Exactly.
What's leverage?
It's like you got cool friends. They vouch for you, and you can trade it big.
Precisely.
So basically, it's an app where you learn and trade, and it's safe, and it looks good.
That about sums it up, yeah. Octifex, trading made clear.
Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Whoa, let me tell you, this show has been absolutely incredible, and it doesn't stop here. Mzansi, we've got a special someone that we are going to celebrate with because he's done something oh so special.
Oh, so special indeed. Well, listen, Chef Clem Pedro recently visited RFG Asher Stud Farm in the Valley of Franschhoek to learn more about RBST hormone-free milk and why Woolworths decided to remove this from all of their fresh and boxed long-life cow milk.
Yeah, now this is something we are definitely going to want to know more about, so let's dive straight in.
Do you ever think twice about the milk that you buy? Do you consider what goes into that milk? Woolies cares. They also care about the planet, the animals, and you. That's why all of the cow's milk that they sell is RBST hormone-free. I'm at RFG Ayrshire Stud Farm today to find out more about this and to establish why it's the only milk you should choose. Let's get moving. You know, how do Woolies go about selecting their dairy suppliers?
What's very important for us is that we share the same goals, the same end goals with our suppliers and with our dairy farmers. In essence, they need to be passionate about what they do, they need to care about their animals and welfare. Quality is most important. Some of our partnerships extend to 20 years and longer. Specifically onboarding a supplier, it's a very rigorous process in which we take the supplier through an auditing process to ensure that it is RBST hormone-free, animal welfare is top of mind, and farming practices, protocols, specifications that need to be adhered to. What's important for us is to collaborate and to build partnerships with suppliers and dairy farmers that have the same passion and strive for the same quality that Woolworths strives for.
Would you like a bit of hay? Oh. It's a no. These are some very happy cows. Carl, the relationship with Woolworths and RFG dates all the way back to the 1990s. Tell me about the compatibility and the partnership and the delicious journey so far.
In the 1990s, Woolworths had regular milk on the shelves, and they really wanted to change the narrative and create a point of difference. So they went about creating a sub-brand under Ayrshire, and they approached RFG back in the 1990s, and at that stage it was represented about 5-10% of the sales, national sales across the country in the network. Today it's been a huge success story. It represents 90% of the milk sales in Woolworths, and it's blossomed across various dairy products across their category.
When it comes to dairy farming, I often hear about RBST hormones. What are they and why did we decide to take it out of our milk?
RBST is in essence a growth hormone, and what it is used for is to increase milk yields in dairy farming. Many years ago, customers approached us about looking at our products and looking at our milk range and ensuring that there's no hormones in our milk. A few years later, we are here where we are now. We do not have any RBST hormones in our milk. In a few weeks' time, you'll need to look out for our milk range to be completely revamped with new packaging that will have the new flash on all our milk. So it's quite exciting. Additionally, I'd like to add that we are very proud to make the statement and claim that all our milk sold within Woolies is locally supplied.
And also how amazing the fact that through all these processes, Woolies is here for the planet, for its animals, and for you. Yeah, Mary, so I agree with you. Being an Ayrshire cow is pretty amazing. And that hairstyle, I must say, I'm a big fan. RFG is one of South Africa's most loved milk producers. What is it that sets you apart from the competitors?
So we've built this business, and we continuously invest in the farm with the latest international standards to create the best conditions for our animals, the cows. And on top of that, we invest in the factory to maintain those highest food safety and quality standards that are required for the end consumer in Woolworths, as well as to create innovation.
Woolies is changing the narrative by only selling RBST hormone-free cow's milk, from fresh to boxed long-life milk. And the best part is they only work with local suppliers. It's never imported, and that's no bull. Yaku, so nice to meet you.
Hi Clem, nice meeting you.
So you supply Woolies with RBST hormone-free milk. I know what that means for the milk, but what does that mean for the animals?
Okay, so firstly, it means that we do not inject our animals with the hormone RBST. So in essence, we don't push them that hard for production. All production is natural, and it means that the cows will last longer in our herd.
So the cows are very important to you. Tell me about the welfare of the animals.
RFG subscribes to the internationally accepted 5 freedoms of animal welfare, being the freedom from hunger and thirst, freedom from discomfort, freedom from pain, injuries and disease, the freedom to naturally roam, and the freedom from fear and distress.
So we know what you put in is equally as important as what you get out. What are the cows eating during the day?
Okay, so we're making use of a specialized feeding company that provide us with different rations for different groups of animals because of where they are in their lactation, where they produce, and according to their pregnancy status.
So what you're basically saying is there are chefs out there creating specialized recipes just for your cows.
That's correct, yes.
I love that. Now I have to ask, there's so many procedures in place to get this amazing, amazing award-winning milk. What are some of those practices you follow every day?
Look, we've got automated systems, cow monitoring systems, where we get real-time data from ear point temperature, rumination, and we use all that information to make decisions on whether we should check those cows because we need good, healthy cows.
Hey, let me tell you, spending the day on a dairy farm has opened my eyes. I had no idea so much goes into producing 1 liter of milk, and I'm never taking a drop of milk for granted ever again.
So we milk 3 times a day, 5 a.m., 1 p.m. and 8 p.m. After the milking, the cows go back to the cow housing where they go eat, drink water and rest. The milk after each session goes directly into the milk silo. Before entering the silo, it goes past the water cooling tower and the glycol chiller. So the milk enters the milk silo at 4 degrees Celsius, where it's remained at 4 degrees. And then the milk truck comes and collects our milk once a day.
And now you know why Woolies RBST hormone-free cow's milk is the only milk you should choose. Farmed right here in communities near you. Tastes like that exceptional Woolies quality.
Oh, thank you, Chef Clem, bringing us the latest in what Woolies is up to. So keep a lookout for the RBST hormone-free logo on their updated milk package, which will be available on shelves soon.
Yeah, it definitely will. And I'm so here for all of this, especially the fact that they're looking after animals, the planet, and essentially us too. Now, if you want to learn more about Woolworths Milk, then listen to their podcast. It's called The Greatest Milk Debate, and it's available on Iona FM. Enjoy it.
Only RBST hormone-free, tested and audited so you know what's in your milk. Only local, never imported. The only milk to choose. Only R91.99 per pack.
Oh, it's time to take just one last little pause this morning before we close out the show. We're going to get another amazing performance from Zwile. The sound check was mind-blowing. Cannot wait for that. Then we're going to introduce you to a brand new segment that is perfect for a Monday morning. It's going to be just a lach of the day. We're going to introduce you to a granny who is giving the rules for her own funeral, and she is hilarious. We'll introduce you to her on the other side of this. Press pause.
New Jacob's Barista Editions, our premium range of slow roasted coffees that even baristas use at home. Coffee shop quality at home.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, gang. Before we wrap up this morning's show, which has been wonderful, so thank you so much to everyone who's contributed, we thought we'd bring you a brand new segment just to push back those Monday blues. Lach of the Day, where we take a break from all things serious and just have a lach.
Oh, we need that, especially given how cold it is in the Western Cape. Well, listen, this next clip is of a 93-year-old grandma with 9.9 million followers on TikTok, and she has all of her followers in stitches with her videos. So we thought we would bring you Grandma, and this is Grandma Droniak. Now, she recently recorded a video of herself laying down some of the rules for the attendees of her funeral, and we have decided to make her our lach of the day. Check it out.
Play this video at my funeral. Thanks for coming, everyone. There's probably a lot of people here, so have fun. If you're crying, stop being a baby. Find a tissue and move on. Don't be sad. I lived a long time. I slayed every day, and now I'm going to lay every day. I hope you slay while I decay. And Bertha better not be here. If she's here, kick her out right now. I'm going to haunt you, Bertha, and my ex-George better leave. I know he's here. I'm going to haunt him, too. I hope everybody gets drunk after this. You better take a shot for me. Love you all.
Oh, it's just funny. Imagine having a grand like that.
Now I lay every day. I love you, Granny. Oh, my word.
Oh, you know what? I think this is where we need to open it up. If there's someone that always just brings you that good giggle, you maybe want to have them be part of our lach of the day, share it with us. Perhaps tag at Expresso Show so that we can maybe share it with you as well. But there we go, our lach of the day. What a great way to end off our Monday.
Well done.
Well, from Lach of the Day, we go to Entertainer of the Day, and it's definitely this man over here. Zwile has been performing, and of course, the band has been entertaining too. So, gentlemen, thank you all so much for serving us this morning. But once again, we're going to do it all. Before we get into this, man, I believe that you're actually being, doing like somewhat of a performance and a tour around Cape Town and the Western Cape. So that means we can get even more of your talent. Where can we find you? Where can we see you performing? And where do we get tickets?
All right, tickets are available on Quicket.
Okay.
And my next appearance is at Athletic Club in Social on the 21st. I'm doing Selective Live on the 22nd. I'm doing Blue Room on the 23rd. Nice. So yeah, you can also follow up on my social media pages. The lineup is there. It's just that I'm just mentioning a few.
There's many on the list. The man is doing the things, and we're so grateful for it. Dude, you sound like the South African Chuck Mangione, and I'm absolutely here for it. Your talent is unknown, until now, of course. But I want to know from you, this next song you're performing, Kushu.
Kushu.
What does that mean? Where is that from, bro?
Okay, it's a game we used to play as kids. It actually takes me back. It's some kind of a background of how we grew up as kids. So I just took that and just flipped it up and made this beautiful song. So yeah.
Nice. So this is one from the childhood. We're bringing it back. We're serving once again. And Zanzi, stand by and enjoy this one. This is Kushu by Zwile. Take it away, brother.
Having a feel-good morning today. If you're feeling good today, just clap your hands like this. Everybody in the studio at home, you just clap your hands like this. Hey! Kushu, kushu, I'm very much here. I see you landing at least on this time, then you're very much here. I say kushu, kushu, I'm very much here. See you landing at least on this time, then I'm very much here. Veronica, stand for some. When we are kumbula mala, baby wabi, si darling mat, ingeto, damatiso isu, iyelele mama.
so unbelievably talented.
I told you, we didn't know his real talent until he came here. We knew he was talented, but wow, this guy's amazing.
No, savant.
Oh.
To him and his charges, please take a bow, gentlemen.
Oh,
You've
yeah.
been amazing. Thank you so much. Okay.
What a great way to start off the week. It's so amazing.
Well done. So many insights today, so much wisdom in the show today. Thank you for being vulnerable today. Thank you for opening up in a personal way, for sharing, for connecting this morning. Thank you so much to everyone who weighed in on the conversation and all of our amazing guests today. Imagine how lucky we are that every day we get to start with this gift, these insights, and of course, with that connection to you. So thank you so much. Make sure you're here to do it all over again tomorrow. And never forget, we love you. Adios.
Good morning.
Another feel-good production.